Hello, one. Hello, all. How are we doing today? What the heck? Why is me weird? Why was I not full size? That was weird. That was strange. Alrighty, welcome one, welcome all to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner where we get together to talk about what helps us escape. Today, you're actually in the political corner. But we will start with escapism first. We'll get the sake poured, and we will get the reviews for anime completed, and then we will start digging up some interviews and some information on Vivek Ramaswamy. Feminist haircut? I don't think it's a feminist haircut. What do you think, Michael?
It looks gay.
Hold on, say that again. I can't hear you.
It looks awful.
Oh, there's
Shitty
your
haircut.
There's your audio. It's better than your haircut, pumpkin ass.
Bitch.
Pompeii, everybody.
I got ponytail action going on.
Ponytail action?
Yeah. Gotta tie it back for work.
Vosh ass motherfucker.
Unironically, though, yeah.
Yeah, actually a little bit. Oh my goodness, I was
not
so
a joke,
late.
dude.
I'm skipping all these.
Dude, you know who's annoying as fuck?
I don't know.
Actually, he's actually not annoying. He's just annoying. Lofty
Sure.
Pixaru.
Oh, what did Lofty do?
He is in support of React content because one of his videos blew up and he thinks it's because of it. It probably is, but there's a different reason for that.
He's looking at the Mauler Destiny debate. I listened to that. That was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. But he's making a lot of arguments that are pretty shitty.
I guess I'd be interested to look at what his arguments are, because it's always fun to laugh at.
I mean, he's not making awful arguments compared to the chat, but he also doesn't understand what the chat's talking about.
Oh, is he just talking to chat the whole time?
Yeah, he's talking to chat the whole fucking time. And I was in chat yelling at him, and he's like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what you're referencing. And it's just like, dude, fuck.
So obviously you've got Mauler, who does EFAP. So
yeah, he is the best on the list. But then he's like, oh yeah, also Charlie, Asmongold, XQC, and Hassan. They're all good too.
Lofty is making that argument, or
Lofty argued that, I'm not sure about Hassan, but definitely XQC is good.
Huh.
And I'm just like, dude, the fuck are you on?
How odd. Maybe we go another layer deep with that. Because when I was watching or listening, I guess, to the Mauler and Destiny thing, you got Mauler who literally will take a minute and spend an hour talking about that minute.
Exactly.
Like, nobody watches EFAP to see whatever it is that they're watching. Not a chance.
Exactly.
And their entire debate was sort of cycling around or their discussion more, because they weren't really debating specific things, but their discussion was more about like at what point that hits and what is it we're actually trying to protect with fair use.
Here's the thing, though. Lofty thinks we're talking about Mauler and everyone, but really no one has a problem with Mauler and EFAP. Everyone has a problem with Hassan and XQC, but he's grouping them all in together and acting like everyone else is being black and white about it.
Yeah.
The loftytism.
Yeah.
Loftisms.
It's very annoying because, like, the last thing I heard him say, I didn't
what he said,
answer Jenner's question, but it
and
was
one stupid thing he said was the fact there's thousands of people saying Mauler should be not allowed to do stuff anymore because
yeah, that's fucking stupid.
He was talking to Vito.
No one said that. Oh,
he was talking to Vito. He thinks Vito represents thousands of people. Maybe in terms of mass, but not in terms of intelligence.
That is true. He does tip the scales on thousands of people.
This debate's just so fucking stupid because no one actually wants to ban Mauler and EFAP, but everyone's like, Hassan,
there are some people who do, but they're also stupid people.
Yeah, but they're also not arguing for Hassan to be banned.
Like, but they're
arguing for any React content period, and they're just stupid. They don't.
Oh wait, really? Who's in that camp?
Like some Twitter people.
Oh,
that
just
you've
Twitter
never
people.
heard of.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I
care
mean.
about
It's like I don't know why Lofty's trying to pull up. It's like there's thousands of people. There's people that want to ban all React content. It's like these people don't matter.
Oh, don't worry, George. We're not talking about presidents yet. We're going straight
Yeah,
up
we're just
internet.
talking about reaction content tonight.
Reaction
I don't
Doing
know what's
channels.
talking
drama.
about
Yeah,
Viveks.
Um, yeah, because I would be like, I would bet money that there's people that want Mahler not online anymore talking, but it has nothing to do with his reaction content, if you could even call it that. Like, it's so far into the realm of like review content that I don't see how you even get there to say that Mahler
Exactly.
is reacting to things.
I genuinely think that anyone who wants Mahler banned has only heard him like randomly be called reaction and are like, oh, all reaction bad.
Or they hear like his political take and they disagree with it and they're like, he should be banned, somebody like that. I could see that
Yeah,
happening all
exactly.
over the place, but not for the actual like activities that he participates in.
No, but that's like Lofty kept calling him react content. It's like, but it's not though. But it really isn't.
Yeah. We need a different word. We need a more advanced lexicon,
I
right?
just call them
Like
commentary. Like commentary is very different from reaction. I feel like if you're breaking down
commentary,
a video, you're
bringing
providing
Yeah, I said
commentary.
this in Discord as well as in his
bringing your
chat. Is
own
the fact that
information.
if you want to call what Hassan and XQC do a reaction is a misnomer. That's disingenuous. They don't react to anything, and that's the problem. That's why people
Exactly.
have a problem with it.
Mhm.
Like, did you see the little thing that Lofty was responding to? Did you see the video?
No, I haven't watched the.
Okay, let's bring that up first.
I've
Let's
seen
play that.
So I listened to Destiny and Mahler talk. I was working on my car, so I could listen to them. I think I listened to it live actually.
Good man.
So I have heard that whole thing where they're discussing at what point does the content become transformative? What are we actually protecting? Is there legs to the argument that there is something about watching something with somebody that changes enjoying that thing altogether?
But then there's watch alongs, so that argument doesn't even stand to like muster.
Right, yeah.
Like I
why
would
not just
generally
do a
agree with
watch
that. Like
along,
watching
yeah.
it with someone is very different than watching it without someone. But like at the same
Mhm.
time, watch alongs have existed.
But I
So
don't know
it's
that
not
it
like we're
transforms
missing
it
out.
at all, right? I don't think that's enough to consider it transformative or not, outside of like copyright striking or anything like that.
Okay, here's the one that
I think it's
started
probably
more of
legally
it.
Stay bad
transformative.
about
This
it,
wasn't
Mahler.
actually the first one, but here's the one that Lofty was responding
Yep,
under.
there's the one he's responding to, and it is very cringe.
And watch this video
Okay, hold on.
and see like how XQC reacts. Because this is after this is like the day after people started talking about this.
And this is apparently after a 10-minute trip to the bathroom.
That's the
No.
worst part.
Or
No,
is
it's
this
in the
about?
video. It's in the
Oh,
video.
this is the beginning of it. Never
The
mind. I
Hassan
got one.
chair is the worst part. Like, can we all agree that's the worst offender?
Well,
Put it
no,
on
there's
video.
also
that's
the
not what Lofty
XQC chair.
agrees on. That's not what Lofty agrees on. No,
He doesn't. He thinks the chair is like a reactive element. Like,
no, he says that it doesn't matter.
It objectively hurts everyone involved, like everyone on the.
He says that
platform
he was
existing.
arguing that it's like, oh yeah, and you could just you could ask him or you could check out some of his tweets. The fact that he says that him getting his video in front of an audience, or what Destiny says sometimes too, getting the video in front
just
of an
strike him,
audience.
bro. Just strike him. Why won't you just strike him?
there is something to be said about that. If they straight up upload your content, there is an option on YouTube at least that would allow you to take the money that they earn from that video. But you have to be on top of it. You have to remember, or you have to be paying attention to it.
Exactly.
What you're looking at is considered the most densely populated place that ever existed. On an area of just
Why is it so tiny?
6.5 acres or 4 football
Is that in Japan?
fields, dozens of individual
No
Probably
way.
China.
have merged into
Oh, probably true.
Is it China?
He
Oh,
left.
yeah.
He left.
And
Why
he
is-
said it was 10 minutes.
This
He literally
bastard
had
has a Baker board and an Element board. He's got the whole freaking lineup.
literally spent 10 minutes on
No,
this.
but then I'm just thinking about y'all play Yakuza 0, the zone they're remaking into the tower.
No,
I feel like that's a pretty dense
I have
zone.
no idea what you're talking about.
Blaine
Yakuza
knows though. He's
0.
played Yakuza 0.
I played a little bit of it. I only played Kiwami and Kiwami 2.
Oh, you didn't play 0?
No, I haven't played 0 yet.
Okay, never mind.
I
Then.
do love them though. I love
There's a
them all.
redevelopment zone that's very like dense.
Just cramming stuff on top of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was expecting this to be
extremely
like South America somewhere, like one of those like, oh, and surprise, it's all built out of cinder blocks, and they pray it doesn't fall down.
Kind of though.
Allowed various war.
He's back.
Do not post this to YouTube for the lack of react. For the lack of react. Boom! Metal pipes, cement, football, goal at the back. Wait a minute, chat. Hold up. I think this is a very rare copper alloy right there, chat. Somebody chat, hey chat, give me a zoom in on this and do a full infrastructural review of the material used in the
Yeah, the world would be better without
right
this
the fuck
person.
now.
Yeah.
What?
Have you seen Have you
Like-
seen any of Dark Viper's videos on reaction? Because
I
think
don't like Dark Viper.
I agree. I don't like him at all. But I
Yeah.
think his videos on fucking Hassan and XQC are decent because it like
I mean,
the
it's
part
basically
where
just
it's just-
taking down the fact that how stupid they are, just like how little
exactly
they do.
because it's just them talking and they're acting like
they're just
fucking
stealing content.
animals.
Yeah, they're
That's
just
what's
stealing
the funny
content and they're whining.
Well, and like, there's
Yeah.
one thing when like a Jax Films comes in and makes fun of people's lack of reaction, but I feel like this parodic reaction that he's putting on now is just, it's so, yeah, that's kind of the issue. Like you're literally laying out what the problem is you just weren't here while your chat just watches a thing.
Yeah,
You're
But,
getting
like, why
paid
couldn't
for
your chat
something
just
somebody else
watch?
made.
That thing, yeah. And it's like,
And
oh,
Lofty-
what, I
and
can't go
Lofty-
to the bathroom, or
Oh yeah, Lofty was talking about how the people on Twitter are just mad because all these people are getting rich off of somebody else's work, just like the communists. It's like, yes, that's why I'm mad. Yeah,
Lofty, you fucking idiot.
legitimately, yes.
hey, George, as long as you can stay, I always enjoy it, but don't let me keep you from necessary sleep. It's one of my 5 pillars of a healthy
Like
life.
we have laws against copyright, and Lofty's just like, oh, they're just mad because enforcing them is like being communist.
I'm not worried about laws. No, I'm worried about morally. Yes, this person is just stealing.
Yeah, morally as well, but like we actually have laws on the books about this, and they just don't get followed.
Now, do you think if they make a large enough Patreon donation, they have some sort of moral argument to say, oh, I've now
No,
helped the original creator,
No.
and now I'm spreading his information?
I disagree.
I would hope that one day XQC and Hassan get clash action lawsuit over this shit.
I don't even think they need that. I think all you would need to do is, like I said, YouTube and everything has a backend that allows you to select videos that are tied to something that you have posted and say, no, that's mine. I get your money. You don't even have to give
And
them a
the
strike.
problem is the
necessarily.
fact
you can
that
just take their videos.
You're not getting anything back because they've already made the money just by having content for their stream
by
playing
having
all
it
day.
go live on a
Yeah.
different
They're ha-
service.
they're
You
Yeah,
having to go
effectively
li-
are forced
they're
to
gonna
sue
get-
them if you want real change.
And the thing is, they're gonna get all their views on the first day, and then they're just gonna kind of get a portion of your views, like a Lamino video, like just like a portion of his views are just gonna keep going
Oh
to
my
React
god,
videos over
Lofty's
time.
take on that is trash as well.
Yeah, like it's just gonna continue to siphon some views. It's like, oh yeah, it's not
Mhm.
gonna get recommended to everybody, but that's because it doesn't get recommended to everybody. It just gets recommended to some people instead of. Because I've seen these React videos in my watch in my like recommended feed. I always say no. Like every time I see them, I just say I don't want to see
Exactly.
that. I have to actively say like I don't want to see that, or else.
But
it's gonna
like,
keep
imagine
doing
what
it.
else could be there if they just didn't fucking exist. Literally
about-
anything else.
How about anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, literally anything.
I thought that
else.
was a good. I think that was Budahar's argument, wasn't it? Where it's
That was also Dark Vipers, but yeah,
It takes up mental space and
not only mental space but actual impressions. That the
Yeah.
lack of impressions that you're getting are important. With the one counter argument that they're like esoteric, like this is the most esoteric, and I don't agree with this argument, but that by clicking on a video of Hassan reacting to Lemino, now Lemino is tied into your YouTube algorithm, and the next
he
time
isn't.
Lemino releases a video, there's a better chance of it getting recommended. But I don't think that A, takes forever for him to make another video to actually like bank on that if that were true, and B, what about the now? What about the video that's currently losing
Yeah,
engagement
what
or
actually
losing videos
happens
now?
is you get recommended more Hassan videos. You don't get recommended more Lemino videos because Lemino
His ears
uploads
look
once a
longer
week.
because his hair is shorter because you see more of it.
Yeah, and my ears are nice and wiggly.
I just feel like you look paler than normal.
That's weird because I'm probably redder than normal because I've been gutting my car and it's been outside and I've been melting.
No, I think it's the orange
fash
shirt.
cut.
I think just
Oh,
comparing your
yeah.
face to the orange shirt is fucking
White
weird.
balance on the orange. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a very orange shirt.
Is it Labor Day?
Is it? No, I think
No.
Labor Day is in the fall, isn't it?
What's up with the orange shirt?
What do you
Why
mean?
can't you
orange
just wear
shirt?
an orange shirt?
It's a Don Quixote shirt.
There
is
we
the-
go.
The Japanese like crazy mall brand.
See?
You're bald now. You miss your full hair days. It's all right.
I'm gonna
sure
be
you
bald
got hair
someday.
somewhere.
It's gonna be sad.
Fight back against it.
We got 30 seconds left on this. What else does he
Boom.
talk about?
This is a deep dive and expert view in city building and architecture. Come on.
Nothing. He's
Come
just
on.
like mocking the ideas.
boom.
Like, well, I don't react to that. Blah blah blah. You guys want to be to react? Yeah, blah. I'm
Do you want me
reacting.
to fucking die? I need to react.
Someone just subscribed for 12 months.
Okay. And then,
Yeah.
and then,
Their 12th month of subscribing.
and then I took a phone call. Okay.
Yeah,
and then
more
I got
money
some
in
You
the
work.
took a
pocket.
phone call. Just pause it.
They
Everybody
can't pause
takes
because
breaks at work.
it'll kill their views. They're gonna earn. They can't pause it because it earns them less money.
When
Do
they
you think
come
he even
back,
has a be back later sign?
are they
No.
going like I've got a be back later sign? Like, are they not gonna like? Are your viewers never not gonna come back when you return?
No, all their
Do they
viewers are
literally
children.
disappear?
Yeah, they'll
All their
literally
viewers are
leave.
children. They are
They
just
will
gonna go to another
literally
stream.
leave.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
It
the thing
is.
is they cultivate an audience who needs the 24/7 dopamine hit, just like TikTok
Well,
viewers. They need
even,
there always to be something going on stream to stimulate them, or else they're gonna
Even
leave.
Arcada's audience, he'll lose like 400 viewers if he.
Oh, when he does the bathroom song, I love the bathroom song though.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
The bathroom
Whiskey
song's
Pissing
great.
Lawyer is so good.
Yeah, a lot of people just leave. It's like, okay, we're done here because people have it on
Yeah.
a second monitor. They hear like the streamer not doing stuff, and they're just like, click.
Well, yeah, if like, yeah, I agree.
You know
with
what there needs to be? There needs to be a like a short host button on Twitch or Kick or one of those where like I can end stream, it'll host somebody else, but then as soon as I start again, it'll suck those viewers back over.
that. No,
Why not?
that is a horrible idea.
Like
But
a
that would-
a
that
5-minute
would stop
raid,
the-
basically.
Yeah, that would stop the it would stop the chair streams, and B, it would give the whoever's getting like rated, you know, a 5-minute or a 10-minute like, oh shit, I gotta do something to keep these people now to, you know, you get that little pressure of like game time.
Yeah, but you could also just bully the shit out of people with it. Oh, you got 50,000 subs all of a sudden. Nope, not anymore. Like you could literally
I mean, how is that bullying?
you could
I would
literally
take a
hate raid people
50,000.
easily.
But you
like-
can already hate raid people. Why?
So, okay,
Why?
that's fair. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
would this be any different?
Yeah.
I think
It's
it
not-
would be a
not like
nice
you couldn't
thing.
easily see people abusing that.
I could see people abuse anything though, and that doesn't mean that we don't allow it to occur, right?
That's a shitty argument for why your system is okay.
But my system
What?
works great. Like, how is my system any different than like spamming a link in chat saying go check out this guy while I go take a shit, and then when I get back, come back? How is that different? How is an
It's,
auto raid
it's
different?
automated, it's
There's
better.
already an auto raid feature in like Twitch and YouTube.
I just don't like it.
What don't you like about it though, compared to the new one?
I don't know. It feels weird to send a shit ton of people to go watch someone, then just immediately take them away.
Taking them away is the part that you don't like.
Okay, so
if
then
it
what
was
happens
just a
when you?
notification?
What happens when that person raids into someone else with all your viewers?
Well, it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do anything.
Okay,
No,
so
he's got a point. Like you, so
there's one-
you shove into them, they shove into somebody else, then you like suck them back from the end.
yeah, like that's weird.
The
It creates
Twitch
problems.
slingshot.
What if?
The problem we gotta
Okay,
solve.
so
Can't have
so then
this.
I think the problem for you could be solved by just switching it over to a little like a notification more or less that just on screen is like, do you want to return to your original person? You can say yes or no.
Yeah, that's decent. But then, like, I watch a lot of streams without actually looking at it. Like, I use it as a podcast. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
wouldn't
fine,
see
yeah.
that
No, these
notification.
streamers would literally never do that. Like XQC would never do that
Yeah.
because he doesn't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
lose any viewers.
Right.
That's why he
We're
does
also
this, is because
forgetting
it
that
gets him
XQC is a
constant
piece of
viewers.
shit that wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Why would XQC do it?
Yeah, like XQC is like, oh, you make a claim, I'm just gonna take it down. Yeah, because it's the easiest option. Because there's no reason he would need to do that. He already got 95% of the money out of it. By the time
Exactly.
anything goes through, he's gotten all of the money he could possibly need. He doesn't need those like residual dollars from this tiny bit of his stream that he reacted to 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that a lot of this would be solved if Twitch was just as draconian as fucking YouTube was with copyright. Like, oh,
'Cause,
you
yeah.
copyright some material, get fucked. You're
XQC
banned
like
for a
just
week.
steals hours of content every single day. Do you think he cares
Didn't
that
you
he
watch
can't
MasterChef
more
and didn't
money
get
off of some
banned
of
for
it?
like more
Oh yeah,
than
lots
3
of
days
Twitch
or
streamers do
something?
that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching TV happens all the time.
Yeah, literally just
They're all
watching
just bad
TV,
people.
play on your stream. Yeah, they are.
Besides, I mean, there's also the argument of like they paid him $1 bajillion to go over there. They could have just gotten the
The rights to MasterChef 24/7.
yeah, you could just get the why not just do it on MasterChef? Why do people engage with that? Alfa Romeo is sponsored by Steak, so of course they're also sponsored by Kick, and they actually have GM Hikaru, the chess guy, XQC, Zest Call, and Deepak on the Halo. So anytime the camera cut to Zhou Guanyu or Valtteri Bottas, you could
It's kind of
see
funny.
these 4 people on the Halo, and I'm like, who watching this gives 2 shits about
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Hopefully
about
the
this
streamers didn't pay for that.
mishmash? No, I'm sure it
No.
was just Kick, because that would be part of like Kick saying we paid $100 million for this bastard. We better get his name everywhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, Kick paid him in shares.
But let's
No,
let's
did
bring up one
Yes,
of
they
Lofty's
paid him in
arguments.
shares.
That's
He was,
hilarious.
I think that was actually a stupid move because I don't think Kick's gonna last. I think Kick's
Yeah.
gonna die, and he's gonna get literally $0 out of that contract.
Usually,
No,
if
I
you get
think
paid in
I-
shares, they have a vesting date. That's the more
I'm
concerning
gonna
thing
assume the
there.
vesting date's probably like 2 years out, and it's like at
Yeah,
minimum.
Ricada brought this up, but you actually want to switch over to a platform that fails so you can go back to the old one once you get your money.
No, but no, not when you get in shares though.
Yeah,
That's not
if,
good.
if it's in
Exactly.
shares,
That's
then
why
his
that's
money
why it's
disappears.
messed up. That's why it's
That's
a
why
bad deal.
XQC is kind of dumb. If Kick doesn't survive, he just got no money from that deal, and
Well,
he just got less
kinda
viewership.
dumb.
No, it's just a pure loss because if you didn't get any money from the bonus that they're supposed to be giving you, and you just had less viewership, you just earned less money for no reason.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you. Like, I'm
You
just
didn't.
saying he's
You
more
just
than kind
didn't.
of dumb. He's more than kind of dumb.
Exactly,
That's
Dr.
not what your words
I
said.
only knew XQC from the Overwatch days. I didn't follow any of his new content
Nope.
until I heard him like there was a bunch of streamer house drama.
6 consoles.
6 consoles. What?
Yes.
I
I'll
don't
play
know
that
that
clip
one.
for you.
Pull it up.
But no, there was a bunch of streamer drama about someone getting inappropriately touched at a party, and then what Ms. Kiff covered it up, and XQC was like,
Oh, you mean that one? Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one. He was like part of the, you should come out with this and be honest. And I was like, oh, it's good to see he's still doing stuff, I guess. And I just never heard from him again until this new reaction drama. It's just it's crazy how there's entire chunks of the internet
Okay, let's
we just
react to some
don't see.
XQC content, a classic.
A classic XQC.
Truly a wonderful video.
And I'm even eating food while we're doing this. It's even more meta.
Perfect. I just ate food earlier.
I'm going to
You
eat
have to
more
be eating food
later.
during stream. You cannot be off stream eating food. You have to do it on stream,
Oh
or else
no,
it's
I
not
was.
real.
Can I drink? Does that work? Okay.
Can I just make
Yes.
food noises?
Stream Deck,
No.
analyzer, fucking
You have to mute your mic. You
moderator
just have to be eating
stance,
in silence.
sound filter, 6 monitors, pedals, drums, gaming guitar controllers, 6 consoles, 10 computers, bunch of fucking wires, sound pads, speakers, antenna, satellite, dog, dog cam, cat tree, cat this, and a bunch of dogs, dude, right? They're ready to fucking analyze NASA's landing speeds, dude.
That was
Was
the
that-
good days, good old days.
Whoops. Go back.
Dude.
Yeah, good old days. Because he's got the LA Gladiators sign in the background.
Yeah, back when he was like fresh from Overwatch.
What?
Back when he used to actually play games. I don't even think XQC plays
What is he
games at all anymore.
describing here?
To be
He's
fair,
describing
games are
other
kinda cheap.
streamer setups, like what they have at their like desk or like in their room. The cat tower, cat tree,
Oh,
six
gotcha.
consoles, bunch of fucking wires.
I have 2 monitors.
No, he doesn't
one
have that.
computer.
No, that was no. The thing is, XQC has like a minimalist setup. He didn't have that much at all.
All of my consoles aren't plugged in. Can I count them though?
Well, you don't need that
Yes,
much when you're
you
just
can,
watching
yeah.
YouTube
Cool.
videos.
I do also have a steering wheel. Maybe someday we'll pull it to this side of the desk and do some.
No, you're the
Do some
exact kind of
actual
person
rigs.
he's talking about.
I have
many
so much
wires
shit.
do you
There's a
have,
TV
though?
facing away from me. How many wires? 50. I have so
Yep,
many
I told you.
wires.
You're the exact person XQC was talking about. You
I
just don't
have-
have like a cat cam.
That's true. I don't have a cat cam. I have had a
Should get
cat
one.
cam. When we did the Blaine
Yeah.
K channel, sometimes our cat Willie would sleep on the floor, and we would have a cam that zoomed in on.
You need to bring back the cat cam.
Bring back the cat cam. I mean, each monitor is 2 cables right there. Then I got all the microphone and audio cables. All the other shit plugging into the computer. And all the stuff for the VR. There's a lot of cables on this shit.
Pretty sure XQC had literally one
A
wire
laptop?
for his mic, and that was it. That was like the only extraneous thing he had. He had like his headset, a mic, USB mic, and that's it. With his webcam, yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Are we still talking?
Ramaswamy.
We can talk about one other thing because I have one other topic.
You have one other topic. Okay. What do you got?
I fucking hate streamers in general.
Okay, that's all that needs to be said. You've made your point.
Okay.
Okay, I posted
Well,
a lot of links for you
especially-
in the politics channel.
Especially streamers that play video games they hate.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good, Michael.
Yeah. What kind of video games?
Like games that clearly weren't meant for them to be playing them. Like I don't know, the new FNAF DLC, Charlie playing it, and it's just the worst video you've ever seen.
Oh wow, you've given us quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, he talks a lot, so there's a lot of different choices you can make. There's like stuff like he wants to raise the voting age. There's only a couple like specific
that's a
policy
terrible idea.
positions mentioned here.
All right. Two things, I guess. One more thing. Trump was indicted again.
He had a video on that too, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. I'm sure the AP will have a nice, simple indictment I can read. Where is the indictment? Somebody link to it. Don't give me an article. Give me the indictment.
Oh, it's funny. I'm looking at that one thread again, and Lofty didn't respond to this one. Please explain to me in great detail how this shit is any different than just straight up re-uploading the entire fucking video. He didn't
Oh,
respond
he
to
probably
that.
started streaming, unless it's like a
No,
very
it's
old
from
comment.
6 hours ago.
Yeah,
It was like a reply minutes after like a different one. He just ignored it.
he would.
Here we go.
Benefit of the doubt, he
Read-
didn't see it, but he would.
Read the indictment. Here we go. What the hell is scribed?
Windscribe?
Somebody uploaded it to some random. God, I hate that we do content on like fucking Sam Cedar, because now I get these goddamn Third Love stretchy ass underwear for the fat bitch in your life. Why
I could
me?
use it.
You don't have an ad blocker, that's why. It's your fault.
I don't ad block.
Yeah, it's your fault.
You know, I think he's right.
It's all
about
on
that.
you. Have a good night, George.
It is on me, but I'm okay with that.
You don't get to complain about it.
I get to complain about the content of the ads that are fed to
No,
me.
you don't. This is
I
what you
do.
signed up for.
I do. I can.
You signed up for random ads, whether they apply
This
to you or
is
not.
why you're here.
I say yes to cookies. Does XQC mean anything special, or is it just the name he chose? He might stand for Quebec because he is Quebecois, but I don't know beyond that. Steven
Quebecois.
replaced uncut or minimally edited Let's Plays, parasociality, and all that. Indictments are fun. Talk to me when he actually has a guilty verdict. I don't know. I don't even know what you can indict him for at this point. I thought we already did that. You need to stretch your pants after you take a blue chew. It's true. True. You should have used an ad blocker. No. All right. Donald Trump was the 45th president of the United States and candidate for re-election in 2020. Defendant lost the 2020 presidential election. Can I just say this is an awful scam. This is potato ass. You know what this is? They
It's
probably
not that
used
hard to
their...
read, Blaine.
I'm not saying it's hard to read. I'm saying it's a shitty scan. Those are two very different things. Just look at
I
it,
see
though.
you zooming in as far as possible. I'm like, come on.
Do you see
on.
it, though? Like, come on.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
pretty-
read it, yeah.
Do you know what that is, though? What that comes from?
No,
What was I going to say?
don't.
What was I going to say? Jackass? Cutting me off with your non-helpful information?
No,
I was gonna
have
say,
helpful
I can see
information.
how low quality it is, yeah.
I think they used the, you know, like when you take a picture of like a thing and it's got like a white square on it, your phone's like, scan this item. I bet they use their phone scanning app to get these.
Oy.
doubt it.
Defendant lost the 2020 presidential election. Despite having lost, the defendant was determined to reign in power. So more than 2 months following election day, spread lies that there had been an outcome determinative fraud in the election that he had actually won. These claims were false, and the defendant knew they were false. I don't know that you can prove that. How do you prove that? Like, does anyone honestly think that Donald Trump thinks he didn't win 2020? Does anybody believe that?
Well, I'm pretty sure that there was massive ballot harvesting campaigns in very specific districts to get the exact results they needed, so yeah.
Why were the Democrats always also getting ready to accuse the other side of fraud? That's just how our shit works. So like
There's been massive accusations of fraud since before 2000 even, I'm pretty sure. Like,
oh yeah,
1988 as well.
The hanging Chad. That was before 2000, wasn't it?
What was
Who
that?
knows?
The hanging Chad, right?
What is time?
Are you gonna tell me?
No, hanging Chad was 2000.
Oh,
Okay. That was 2000. Thank you, Veritex. Since the 80s, says Alex Moore. He's old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure since like Reagan, they've been having a lot of there's been lots of accusations constantly over every election.
Everyone who loses wants the electoral college disbanded. True. True.
No, I want the
That's
electoral
how
college
you know-
strengthened.
That's how you know the
Agreed.
Electoral College is a great idea, because every time the other side wins, it gets blamed for the fact that they lost.
Yeah, I blame the Electoral College for not being strong enough because cities are much, much larger than states ever were.
What do you think would happen if we went back to your senators in your state selecting your electors?
That'd
Like
probably be a better system than popular
that,
vote.
because that was like one of the original systems.
Yeah, I
Was
think it'd probably be a better system than
states
popular vote because
you voted,
you'd
you
care
know,
a you care a lot more about your state if you actually these guys
exactly.
if you didn't have direct control because when people get a vote for president, they have too much power to enforce their will. Actually,
Yeah,
it's like
Veritex.
people would say the absolute opposite, but
Because
I
like
disagree.
Veritex, a lot of people assume you have the right to vote. You don't have the right to vote. You have the right to vote if your state holds an election. You have the right to vote. But originally, the way it worked was land-owning men would vote on their local representatives, and then their local representatives would select their electoral delegate to go and cast their vote on who they wanted to be president. So you you cared very deeply about your state, and all of this disappeared. I want to say it's Reconstruction that sort of killed all of that because people stopped focusing on like what their state was doing and everything when the federal government started to apply everything to that. Landholding women
There's
have
no
votes
reason
too?
a
Oh, that
landholding
makes
woman
sense.
shouldn't have the ability to vote. But
That would make sense.
the reason the voting was tied to land because there's no reason you'd believe that a man wouldn't own a plot of land. There's no reason to believe a man wouldn't have his own home.
Yeah, renting sort of changed that.
It's not like renting didn't exist, but no, it was assumed that you'd still be as
You
an
would
adult.
eventually get to
You
the
get a
point.
family and you'd get your own plot of land and then you'd live on that.
Right. But a lot of people think that their vote is like enshrined in the Constitution. It just isn't. You don't have a right to vote. So anytime someone says right to vote, it's like, no, it's not how it works.
And if I was going to be making the rules, I probably would be expanding it to renters. I wouldn't just literally hold it to people that own land, because that's not realistic nowadays.
Yeah, I think that the way that we have, like, if you hold a vote, anyone who is of an age that like the government affects them should have a right to vote. Which is why you said Ramaswamy wants to raise the age. I think that's a bad idea. I'm not a fan
He
of that.
said the age of 25 or passing literally your school's civic test.
I am so close to being okay with some sort of test for
It's not like a
voting.
test. No, it's literally your school civics. You have to
You have to pass school civics.
You have to pass your school's civic test. That's what he said. At least that's what I remember when I skimmed over his video. It was like, you have to pass your school's civic test. That's what it is. It's not like a national test. No, people can put in a dumb, worthless test if they want to make all their citizens able to vote. But if you want to put in like an actual test, you can do that. And it's determined at the local level specifically. The state gets to choose its own regulation there.
Well, and I think you got to think through also like what's actually on your ballot. When I read, because we just voted here in Washington State, and it was like, here's all the new council members, and you like read their bio, what they've done. One of them was a YouTuber, so I could actually see other things that they've done before. That's like travel stuff in the area.
Nice.
And then there's like, here's the propositions, here's the other little the taxes we want to pass and what they're gonna go for. So you have to like read and discern, like, how does this affect me? Is this like going to do a thing that I think is important to people? And then vote yes or no on that. So like your vote, while it is important to know how the government works, i.e. these Trump indictments, I guess, is not. You're not really voting based on how the government works. You're oftentimes voting just on like, oh, do I agree with what this tax is going to pay for, or which of these four people do I think has my best interest at heart when I put them on the council. So I disagree with a civics test, but I am decently all right with some minimal threshold of understanding. You think you should have to register with selective service to vote? I mean, that's true for guys.
Honestly, the thing is, I am making assumptions on this based on what I know of other conservatives that say similar things about civics tests, like voting. It's not about literally knowing it. It's about you have to look this stuff up, or you have to have been read on what the United States Constitution is, and all
Well,
these
and
other
like
things.
thinking back on like my civics
Why we
class,
have we have the things the way that they are, and why
Yeah,
you should be voting for
it's the
something.
competence to be able to learn information and then spit it back out on a test. I'm kind of okay with that, but there are some people that I would want their input because their lives are affected. People with Down syndrome that aren't real good at that kind of thing, I still want them to vote. So I don't know. I don't think it should be as something as like, oh, civics. Obviously they can make it like foolproof so anyone can pass the civics test, but then it's like, what's the point? Why not just have sort of a minimum competency that has to do with more like reading comprehension engagement? Oh yeah, the council. I never pass over anyone I can vote on. Sometimes I do write in, but that's usually only because there's only one person to vote for that slot, and I hate them. So I'll just vote for me. That's usually how I go about it.
You just put me in there instead of your own name.
Yeah, it just says ME. Defendant had a right, like every American, to speak publicly about the election and even claim falsely that there had been outcome determined fraud during the election and that he had won. Cool. And why are we indicting?
Who is doing this indictment?
And the thing is, even if he
the indicter guy.
like yeah, let's
Who's
say
the indictor guy?
let's say all this
Merrick
is
Garland,
true. Wait,
right?
is that bad?
Is it? Is it Merrick Garland?
I mean, it's federal, so I think he has to sign it. I mean, look at
Oh
Obama.
yeah, probably.
What are you saying, Torontos?
And he's like, okay, he claimed that the election was fraudulent. Like, yeah. Is
Well,
that against the law?
This third thing here literally says he has a right to speak freely that he thinks it was stolen. It's like, okay,
Does he not?
end of thing. Oh, this is Jack Smith's special counsel. Okay.
Where is he in the Department of Justice?
He wouldn't be in the Department of Justice, would he? Because like special counsels are usually like pulled from retired, like I don't want to do it kind of guys.
I don't want to do it as a stretch for this kind of guy.
Yeah, Department of Justice Special Counsel or Consul Jack Smith. He was appointed November 18th, 2022 by Merrick Garland. So it's a different guy than Merrick Garland, but obviously it's under his office, so it is predicated on him.
Like when that one guy
I assume it's like Merrick Garland approves of this, and this is the guy that wrote it up.
I'm sorry, this guy's indicting the former president after 8 months.
Yeah, I don't see why a time has to do anything with it.
No, it's just the fact that it's stupid. The time doesn't matter.
I want to see John L. Smith's history. Because, like, the last time this happened, right, we had, what's-his-face with that looked like the Eagle Muppet. Do you remember him?
Legal Eagle?
No. The special counsel guy. He straight up looked like the Muppet that's an eagle. Mueller?
You mean the investigation? Like Robert Mueller?
Yeah, Robert Mueller. He was like retired and they were like, hey, can you come be special counselor for this? Yeah, this guy. He looks like the eagle from the Muppets. He just does. Just trust me here, okay? But I'm pretty sure that like most of the time special counselors, the whole point is that they're like, oh, we want to bring in somebody else to take care of this that isn't politically tied. I mean, if you could find someone like that in the world, to like the
this is
current
very
administration or anything.
interesting.
Let's see. History. He was the district attorney for Tennessee until 2017. Career. Here we go. 2015. 2018 was named 4-year for chief prosecutor for the Kosovo Specialist Chambers in The Hague, investigating war crimes in the Kosovo War, including the case of Salih Mustafa. He took up the post on September 11th, 2018, was appointed into a second term 2022 before stepping down in 2022, which I'm guessing was when he was called. Yeah, so he basically, they take someone who's not doing anything
I
internally.
think it's pronounced Kosovo.
Kosovo? You think it's Kosovo?
You gotta check, might as well.
If that's not Kosovo, then everyone's lied to me.
Oh, it looks like you're right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because the idea is that you have someone who's
I
like,
assume as I heard somebody with a thick accent say it, Kosovo. So that's
"Welcome
why
to
that's why I
Kosovo."
listened. That's why I interpreted it as that way.
Gotcha. That makes sense. You're very dumb in high school supporting the Kosovo. Hey, look, a flawed haircut is here.
Oh
Guess
shit!
what? According to polling data, speaking of high schoolers, boys since about 2020 have started identifying as, or well, actually, since about 2010, 12th graders have identified as conservative, males specifically, have identified as conservative or liberal, and it's become very, very drastic since like 2019, 2018.
Yeah, the opposite is also true. Girls are being more liberal.
Yeah, it's like literally a male versus female divide.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, we hear lots of buzzing from Vlog Wog.
Well, he is on his phone.
Oh yeah, I'm on a phone. Hold on,
Yeah.
figure out how I want to do this.
That's just kind of how I sound on stream, so it's just like whoa, 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 whoa.
And yes, you're right. He does look like that. As soon as you said the eagle Muppet, I said Mueller.
Exactly. Everybody gets it.
I never watched the Muppets.
Oh, I love the Muppets.
I'm sorry.
To Serranos or me?
To Serranos. He
Oh,
probably
yeah.
wouldn't like it anyway.
No.
You would at least
well, actually,
like
I like
the Muppets Christmas
Robert
Carol.
Walford or what was their
Waldorf?
two name? Waldorf. Yeah, I
Statler
like
and
those
Waldorf?
guys. I like those guys. They're
Yeah,
very
you would.
They're great.
good.
I love those guys. Flot, how was your stream? I missed it while I was trying to hurry and finish my pad thai.
No, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. So, I'm painting a Warhammer minifigure right
Show
now.
it to us.
Oh, are you?
Bring it up. Bring that up.
I just finished washing it in warm, soapy water.
Oh, good.
It's not fully assembled. I've never done this.
You kind of just started, yeah.
You've
I've
never
never
done this before? Well, then
Say
you've
goodbye
only
to
got
your
up to go
children's
from here.
college fund, okay?
Now, my son my son already did one of his. He's only done the base on it, but
Oh, hold on.
I was gonna say, I guess
Nice.
considering your political leanings, I don't think you wanted to send your kids to college anyways.
no.
Yeah, no, send them to trade schools.
Send them off to Canada, freeze to death.
I would never send a kid of mine to Canada. Unless
What
he said
about-
he wanted to go to college, and I'd be like, get out of my house. Go live in Canada. Or something.
What about the invasion? We could invade Canada with your kids.
that? I would support.
You're almost to a small unit, right?
And the thing is, why don't we simply invade the smaller countries and take all of their resources? Like, do you think the EU would stop us if we invaded Canada and took all their oil?
Apparently not.
Like, yeah, what are they gonna do to stop us? Like, you think they're gonna defeat our navy and go cross transatlantic? Or yeah, just go transatlantic and just like start invading America if we took over Canada? No,
Exactly.
They wouldn't do shit.
They're
Like,
kind of
they're
asking for
not
it.
jumping in to defend Ukraine. Do you think they'd jump in to defend Canada? No.
Have you seen the Trump indictments, Flawed, Stu?
No, I haven't. I've heard about them, but not
They're-
much.
They're pretty dumb so far. It
I imagine
literally
they are.
says defendant had a right, like every American, to speak publicly about the election and even to claim that there had been outcome determinative fraud during the election that he had won. Like, okay, why? Where are we getting to that? I think this is all background, right? Shortly after Election Day, conspiracy to defraud the United States by using dishonest fraud and deceit to impair, obstruct, and defeat the lawful federal government function by which the results of the presidential election are collected, counted, and certified. Okay. A conspiracy to corrupt, obstruct, and impede the January 6th congressional proceeding at which the collected results of the election are counted and certified, and a conspiracy against the right to vote and have one's vote counted in violation. You don't have a right to vote. I hate this. Fraud has a specific meaning, though. Yeah, and so does conspiracy. So it's like, okay, did he talk to somebody, and they're like trying to link that to that? Will this go into? Okay, count one. On or about November 14th, 2020, through or on about January 20th, 2021, in the District of Columbia and elsewhere, the defendant did knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with co-conspirators, known and unknown to the grand jury, to defraud the United States by using dishonest fraud and deceit to impair, obstruct, and defeat the lawful federal government function by which the results of the presidential election are collected and counted. The purpose of the conspiracy was to overturn the legitimate results. Who is the co-conspirator? The defendant unlisted co-conspirators. Here we
Tucker
are.
Carlson.
Co-conspirator 1, an attorney who was willing to spread knowingly false claims and pursue strategies that the defendant's 2020 re-election campaign.
It's just
attorneys
people
would
who
not.
agreed with him.
What? Yeah, you just said they had the right to speak. Now these guys don't have the right to speak. Co-conspiracy 2 was an attorney.
So yeah, they're just his lawyers. Linwood and the other girl.
All
Sidney
attorneys
Watson.
are co-conspirators.
Or Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell.
Yeah, so one of these has got to be Sidney Powell. One of these implement a strategy to leverage the vice president's ceremonial role. That might be
Rudy or Lynn.
Lynn. And then number 3,
Roger Stone.
an attorney
No, Roger
whose
Stone isn't
unfounded
in this.
claims of election fraud the defendant privately acknowledged to others sounded crazy. Nonetheless, the defender embraced and publicly amplified co-conspirator 3's disinformation. A Justice Department official who worked on civil matters, an attorney who assisted in devising and attempting to implement a plan to submit fraudulent slates of presidential electors. This one is interesting because wasn't that like, oh, these electors are fake, so we'll get them to send real electors? And is that a crime if you think that the ones that are already going are the fake ones?
I don't see how
crime
you
if the
could
government
possibly
says it
indict
is,
the
right?
electors themselves for anything.
They weren't like trying to lie and say, oh, sneaky, hide the other ones. These are the real ones. They were just saying, no, those are fake. These are real. But everyone's like, nah, these are the real ones. So like,
And that stuff's gonna be vetted out pretty easily, honestly. So I don't know how that even plays in at all.
manners.
So,
and
wait.
means.
His entire conspiracy and all his co-defendants are just the people he hired.
Yeah, all
Like
the
his
people that he
lawyers.
paid to help him.
Yeah.
These are the people that stood to gain. Senior staffers.
I mean, yes, if Donald Trump was president instead, they would gain.
This is the Arizona one where they're saying that a lot of fake people and dead people voted, like they always do.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about Ramaswamy.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna do anything. Is
I mean,
it?
they've
Like,
already.
any-
It seems like they
any-
already don't have an argument at the start of it.
You can always get an indictment, but I just don't see it doing anything. And like, what's the point? I think you're gonna water down the idea of indicting Trump by indicting him all the time.
Oh no, people already don't care. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
No.
like,
Well,
oh, you
that's
indicted
the-
him? Cool.
That's the
Nobody-
theory, that it's a psyop to get him popular so that he can beat somebody like DeSantis in the primary.
No, DeSantis killed himself. It was
Yeah.
a self-inflicted
That's not even a
wound.
worry at this point.
I mean, I haven't been paying attention to any of that stuff, but I mean, how did he do that?
Did we see the AI?
Oh,
Did you
he
see the AI
posted
stuff?
AI generated images of Trump hugging and kissing Fauci.
Yeah, did you
Oh,
see
that's
that? Yeah, no. DeSantis sunk his own campaign by being
Yeah, that was
stupid.
all on him.
Wait,
Yeah.
did he do that unironically?
Yes.
Unironically.
Extremely
His
unironically.
campaign posted a video talking about Trump cushioned up to Fauci while Ron DeSantis stood for Americans like that. And he
Because
had
everyone-
AI generated
Trump on.
images of Trump with Fauci.
It would have been
Yeah.
hilarious if he'd have done it ironically, because I mean, a lot of people forget that, you know, Trump handed the keys to the kingdom on
Well,
COVID.
no, yeah, there is an argument there to be made, but why did he create AI images? This is not. These are all images from the video. This is like I don't remember if it was
Hey, welcome, I wonder.
a still of all 60s at once, or they just like played through them. But those three that they outlined were the fake ones, obviously.
Yeah, so
These
there's
just
one
didn't
where
exist.
there's one where Trump's kissing him on the nose, another one where he's like whispering sweet nothings in his ear, and another one where he's giving him the old reach around to a little butt pat, and he's like,
Now, if they're doing stuff like this as a joke, that would be pretty funny. Obviously, people wouldn't take it seriously, but they're trying to mix it and make it seem like something it wasn't.
Yeah.
They were just lying about it.
because you could.
'Cause
You've
if
got
I'm-
DeSantis, the anti woke candidate, right? Who's like, I'm stopping CRT in my state. I'm also gonna fight for your ability to fight against the coming AI.
Whatever.
And he like shows like these kind of like these would be great for a campaign against my opponent to show how he, you know, you could play into the fact.
Honestly,
that
they
are
could
fake,
use that too. Yeah,
but trying
they
to
could do the
show
other
them
angle.
as legit for a side of the aisle that's already conspiracy. Like, wait a minute, you're trying to fuck with me. Like, you're gone.
Yeah, I mean,
You're-
because like I prefer him as a candidate over Trump.
Honestly, I would still vote for Trump in the primary or the general if he won. But
Yeah, me
before
too.
any of this stuff happened, I was actually more on DeSantis. I'm like, sure, let's go with DeSantis. Like, I'd rather have
Yeah.
somebody younger. Like, that was a main reason.
I would prefer. Well, I think that, you know, just DeSantis. DeSantis, I think, is just a more palatable candidate for some
DeSantis
folks.
is more of a career politician. Yes, he is more of a
And, yeah, and that.
politician guy.
and he's effective if all you do is read the headlines of what he does. But as soon as you hear DeSantis talk about what he does, you fall asleep in a second. Like,
I
he
know I'm
has
a politics
zero
guy. I don't- I don't
presence.
have an issue with that personally because I'm a politics guy. I'm used to that kind of shit.
You are, but
Yeah.
99% of the voting populace is.
And that's
is-
why everybody loves Trump so
No.
much. I enjoy it too, but everybody loves Trump because he's big and boisterous.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's. Enough with that. Trump's not. He's gonna get indicted again and again, and they're also.
Unless there's something that
we're gonna
seriously
wait-
prevents. I was gonna say, unless there's something that seriously prevents Trump from actually running in the primary, he's gonna win.
Pick any candidate. They all report to Israel. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're doing it.
But get it? They all report to Israel.
Flawed. We should have a talk sometime about the modern Israel versus the biblical Israel.
We will have that not on a stream or anywhere where it can be recorded and played back.
We'll have it in Discord, so
I
only
am
the
so-
Discord mods
I
admins
need
can
to-
record it.
Yeah, exactly. I need to learn about that, because the more that people were talking about Israel and like modern conflicts and stuff, and I just was like, wait a minute, Ottoman Empire was around like 100 years ago. That kind of blew my mind for a second.
You
there.
didn't know that?
Oh yeah,
No,
Yeah,
like,
Ottomans-
dude, I
Ottomans were
focused on
around
Japanese
until World
history
War I
for
history,
so
dude.
long.
It was until the end of World War One. Yeah,
I
that's
know
when they
that
were
now,
dissolution.
but that was
Yeah.
like, I didn't give a shit about the Ottoman Empire.
Well, I mean, the
So
thing
I
is, the
wasn't even
Ottoman
paying
Empire
attention
stopped
to
being
it.
relevant another about 150 years before that.
Exactly.
They lost kind of all their power, and they were just a state that held together the region, but nobody wanted their territory, so that's why they were
'Cause
never
you can't
conquered.
defend it, I'm sure.
Well, no. The thing is, nobody wanted it because it was a shithole. Really, is like
It's
they
even
kind of
worse
just
than that.
they kind of just. I mean, the Balkans
that's
were
how, like,
always
Saudi
terrible,
Arabia
but they
started,
kind of made
right?
it worse.
Like Saudi was a bunch of garbage.
That's
and
why-
then
yeah,
all
that's
of a sudden
why-
they found oil and they're like, oh sweet, we're not gonna die.
Yeah, that's why it's like pretty easy to. Well, I wouldn't say just easy, but it's easier to unite something like Arabia because it's not like people want to live there.
You know, that was
Like
a
the
really
UAE.
weird thing that DeSantis did, campaigning in Israel of all places.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Egypt, Cairo, like the Nile Basin, Levant, like Syria, and Iraq. Yeah, just Iraq. Those have very fertile, lots of nice land. People want to conquer those. That's why there's
Well,
always different conquerors in those areas,
so
because that's good area to live in.
are you being sarcastic?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it was good. It's much
Oh, I was
worse
about to
now
say, I
than
was
it
like,
used
yeah,
to be.
because I mean, you can tell. Like I could tell being in Iraq.
No, yeah,
that-
Syria used to be extremely prosperous. It was a long time ago since then. I'm talking historically here.
Yeah.
Like Syria had been a regional powerhouse in terms of just like production of like goods.
Anyway, as long as you have a massive religious voting base in America that believes that Israel as an actual nation state needs to exist and be protected in order for the revelation to be approved, that will always be a thing that comes up in politics.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that's not as mainstream as some people think it is, or just assume it is. But I mean, it's just.
I
I think it's mainstream, but
it's
it's mainstream in like a 45 plus demographic. I don't think that more modern voting bases really care as much.
Well, I mean, a lot of people haven't been called an anti-Semite because they said that because they've just said on the internet that the Pharisees had Jesus killed, and then had like a bunch of people go, well, that's anti-Semitic. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just us talking about what our scripture says. But you get one of those.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the Jews. I'm mad at the Pharisees. It's very specific.
But you get into that, and then that's when you go, okay, that there are actually significant belief differences between what the modern day Jewish religious teachings and modern day Christian teachings.
You mean they're trying to conflate things with each other so they can claim it's anti-Semitic? When has that ever happened before? I've never heard of that.
Hi,
Why would they do that?
it's me again, Jelly from Face Connect. If you haven't heard, we're selling our second anniversary
More coffee?
merchandise
Oh, dang
in
it.
the official Face Connect store.
And this is what you're gonna buy, Michael?
And among them
Yes.
is a
What
jelly
is this?
plushie and
You're gonna buy this?
and a jelly keychain.
Which
Maybe
one are you gonna buy?
So please,
Why aren't you buying the
help me meet
plushie?
my totally real
I don't like
quota of
plushies.
monthly sales, please.
Sucker for plushies.
No, you didn't finish it.
No, I didn't finish it.
You didn't
What-
finish
what-
it.
I
what
love bean
happens at the end
plushies.
that makes it important?
Pull it up.
It's me again.
Skipping.
God.
Oh, I can't skip.
What is this?
This is a
VTubers.
VTuber. Do you not know what VTubers are? That's what
I
Lofty
know
does.
I know that VTubers exist, and
Also, she's a woman. I'm not sure if you're that familiar.
I thought
Do you know
Lofty
anyone
was a
outside of your wife?
VTuber. Isn't Lofty a VTuber?
Yes.
Technically.
Oh my goodness. Lofty's one of these.
Yeah.
Chin,
Yeah.
This is the
Except
more
he has a
successful
shitty
version.
model.
I meet my totally real quota of monthly sales. Please. Please.
Is
Why
that
is
it?
this? Are we learning something from this or something?
Yes, that was
Michael,
it.
come on. That's
No,
Nah.
we're not learning anything from that.
we're talking about politics. We're
I
not
was
talking
hoping it would
about
be
jelly.
useful.
I like Fishman and Jill.
I don't care.
Are they trying to sound like a 4-year-old? Yes. Like every woman you meet online.
And have you seen the newest VTuber from Hololive?
Which one?
Kaseki Bijou.
I like Bijou.
I like Bijou. Bejeweled.
Okay.
These are Vessies.
Here's why
They're waterproof,
RFK Jr. will
clip-proof,
never
mud-proof, sandproof.
win.
win.
Speaks. People are
Well, his Second Amendment views are
called President John F. Kennedy.
His Second Amendment views are what?
What should I call you? Not very solid.
Oh no, I would never vote for him.
Crazy, a Kennedy who doesn't like guns.
I wonder why.
Father, Robert F. Kennedy. were
No, I
assassinated.
mean, would I rather
While
have
Junior
him be
blames
in there
the
than
CIA.
Biden if that was what it was?
Found that,
Yeah, I guess.
It was a plot.
I guess.
It was a
Do you hear that
conspiracy.
guy?
Just as he blames vaccines for autism and Wi-Fi. Some crap.
Well, you just don't like his voice?
I interviewed you a
Listen to him. This guy's never going to win.
few weeks ago at the very start of all this. I've got to say, you're having a great
I'm Biden
race.
won.
I mean, this is really for you. I would say of all the candidates on either side, you're the one getting most attention.
Yeah,
He
I
is,
mean,
yeah.
it's been so far so good. I think me and my whole team are very happy with how things.
What are you, a
going.
bigot or
We're
something,
getting
Blaine? Like,
tremendous
come on, why are you
traction
staring at
all
us like that?
because
You're
we
like,
are
oh, look at this guy, this disabled person. He sucks, doesn't he? Is that what you're trying to get us to say, Blaine?
I'm
That's what
not trying to
sounds
get you to
like
say that. I'm trying to get you to admit that he will never last through a debate, and the American people will never
You
vote
watch
for
Biden
someone.
go up there and not even know his own name.
Well, that's
But
And he
because
still
they were,
won.
yeah, but
He's
they didn't.
struggling
You
to
notice how
speak,
many
but he's
debates
not
did
struggling
they
to
have?
form a sentence.
Or actually, he had two, didn't he?
One.
He had two.
It was two.
Yeah, there's a second
So-
one.
So
Yeah,
here's
I
the
thought they
thing,
were.
because we'll all say that he's got dementia, but nobody on television will say that he's got dementia, right?
No.
So
They
my
should.
wife's got a lot of background in career experience dealing with folks with dementia and being
I
married
thought-
to me.
I thought you were gonna
So-
say your wife had a lot of background in Facebook and people hating on her for saying Biden had dementia.
No. But I mean, this was back during the election thing. She listened to one thing. She goes, "He's got dementia. Like he's got all the telltales."
It's obvious. You
But
can just
what
walk
she
up to
says
him.
is like you can. One of the things she says, like it's difficult for, like, say you've got a parent, right? A dad. He's got two sons. One lives locally. One lives in 2 states away. And the local son is taking care of dad, and he's like, I think dad's got dementia. Like he's doing things that bother me. I think he's got dementia. And he tells that to the other brother, and the other brother goes, okay, well, I'll pay attention next time I'm there for Thanksgiving. So he comes to Thanksgiving, and he comes away saying the son from across the state says, I don't see it. He seems pretty active and coherent and everything. And what my wife says happens is they can hold it together for 10 minutes, an hour, most of a day when it matters, when they're really focused on it. But then it
just kind of falls apart.
then it all falls apart. And then
It's crazy. I remember talking with my grandma before we got her in the home, and like you would focus her in, get her set. She knows what's going on. Everything's all good. Soon as she stops having to be in that conversation, mine just kind of disappears. It's
kinda
very
scary.
freaky. It's very
Yeah.
freaky.
I mean, I've had
Yeah.
experience with it myself. Yeah.
I guess it's really sad. I haven't had to deal with that myself. I just, I listen to, what my wife tells me about what, she deals with. But she was like, yeah, I mean, it's like he can hold it together for a speech. But even then you can tell it's progressed to the point that even when he's trying, he can't. He does, or he gets off the airplane and he goes, or gets off Marine One and doesn't know which way he's going.
Yep.
This is a man who has spent how many years in DC, in Capitol Hill, at the White House, and doing all this stuff, and he doesn't know where he's going.
I mean, did he ever get to ride Marine One as a VP? Maybe he's just not used to the spinny copter. He's like, I don't know which way this one goes. But here, you have.
Well, he's not having flashbacks from Nam because he didn't go there.
Exactly. So RFK,
Polling data shows, me surging.
speaking through his tracheotomy. Say what you will, and what I will.
Made its Declaration of Independence to the world more than 2 centuries ago. with an idea unique among nations.
That weird isn't
goes over
great for
people's
public
heads.
speaking. However, it does speak to people like their grandpa. Whereas RFK Jr. sounds like grandma with the tracheotomy. Like, I don't... I
What do
get
you
that, like, the
mean?
content of what they say is vastly different,
I
but
don't
the
like what you're
delivery
implying
system... Yeah, exactly. The little vibrating thing. How wow. God, kids these days need those commercials. Those anti-smoking commercials.
I hate those commercials. I'm so sad about that. I hate every time they come on. I'm like, I'm sorry your life went to shit over cigarettes.
The one I always remember is the one where the lady's talking about how smoking took away her voice and she got the trach, and in the very end she takes another puff through her fucking trach. I'm like, no, lady. And she's like, well, I mean, I'm at the end. Like,
What are they gonna do? They can't take it away twice.
Exactly. Now comparing to Ron DeSantis.
What?
Now here's the thing you don't know. The thing is, Biden is a bad guy. He's a bad dude. Teams up with the people we don't like.
Keep it quilted.
Good speaking of presidents for my lifetime would be Grandpa Reagan. Again, say what you will about the content. Obama was a very easy person to listen to.
Yeah.
Aside, that's something that a lot of people are used to and okay with hearing.
Keep it quilted means comfort that feels good.
And always use
does-
quilted on your ass.
The thing is, all you
I'm
ever
just glad you didn't pull up a smoke it with the commercial.
No, I won't do that to you.
I did have a good day. I like to roll it up. I like to smoke a nice blunt.
Let me welcome you to the freest state in these United States.
Okay, CPAC needs to invest in some subwoofers or a little bit better of an EQ on their tiny mic there. This is sad how tinny he is.
You'd have CPAC in 2021, and I'm happy to inform you, 2021, Florida set an all-time record for domestic tourism coming into our state. And those record numbers include a number of lockdown politicians who lock down their own people, restrict their own people, mandate governors, mayors, big TV hosts. They criticize Florida, and the first chance they get, what do? They escape to freedom in the state of Florida.
I love the message, but the delivery just needs work.
Is it because we're spoiled because of Trump?
Trump is funny.
No, because I also think that the way that Biden speaks, even though he doesn't speak words, is interesting to listen to.
You do?
Yeah. You don't think that it's like,
No.
man, listen to that old guy ramble.
Blaine, your autism is acting up.
I think your autisms are acting up because you're not paying attention to the way in which the person is communicating, and you're only focusing on the message.
No,
that they're
the
trying
way
to
he
deliver.
Biden communicates doesn't make any sense. That's why I don't like it.
Exactly.
it's
you're
not
focused on the
just his
content.
message,
You're
it's
focused
No,
on
the way he
content.
communicates doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the
That's
content
because he
doesn't make any
doesn't
sense.
actually
It
communicate.
doesn't
It's
sound
literally
like
just
anything.
rambling.
It sounds like he's not talking.
The sound.
Yeah, the
is
literal
what
sound of
people
what he's
care about.
Yeah, the literal sound doesn't sound like anything.
People love it.
Well, no, I'm telling you why I don't like it. Yeah, it doesn't sound like
Because
he's
this
saying
is just
anything.
me talking
Like,
to
I
you
don't-
straight. That's giving you straight talk because I'm from Scranton, and my family in Scranton.
Yeah. And then look at like Trump, like, oh yeah, biggest
Corn
greatest,
Pop was a
everything's
bad
great,
dude, you
wonderful,
know?
wonderful, great, biggest, wonderful, everybody loves it. Like the way that his voice sounds, everybody loves the way his voice sounds. We love the sound of presidential voices.
Right, but
And when man comes up and talks about how everyone sucks and we know it and they all want to come talk to me, Like, this voice I'm using right now is more interesting than that of DeSantis.
John Malkovich?
I don't know. You pick. I was just throwing out voices right now.
Kind of Malkovich-y.
I'm just telling you, when it comes to there's an audio perception that people get.
Well, I mean, before Trump, who had another like captivating voice that was a politician running?
Obama, I just said.
Oh, you did?
And before him, people liked listening to George W. Bush. Not everyone agreed with what he said, but people liked listening
Nuclear.
to Pokey Cowboy. Nuclear. Making up words. People loved that. The
His
way
dad,
he talked was a thing that people loved.
Not gonna do
Bill
it.
Clinton looking for all those women. Don't poke me, Hillary. Like, people like the way Bill Clinton sounds.
She wouldn't let him poke her.
I'm telling you, the content that people talk about is important to you and me and people that honestly care about what's happening. But a lot of people that just vote, it goes by red or blue, and then how do they sound?
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, can they form a coherent sentence? How do they sound? It's literally a tonal thing that occurs in the brain.
Tonal.
Speaking of tonals, that is a deeply insensitive joke. Vivek Ramaswamy.
I don't get it.
Isn't Indian a tonal language?
What?
A tonal language?
Does that matter here?
Does he even speak Indian?
No, he's American.
Indian?
I don't think he speaks any Indian.
Stop trying to
probably
make
does.
things offensive. We got enough problems with that going on.
Yeah, I corrected myself, but Blaine didn't.
Okay, here's the first thing on his page when you go to it, because Serranos, you've said that you like what this guy stands for generally.
Yes.
Okay, and I have no idea who this guy is. So I've been thinking about it all week, and then I was like, why don't I just do a research stream? We'll figure out what he is and what he stands for. So we'll start with what he wants to tell us.
Faith, patriotism, and hard work have disappeared,
Oh, look,
only to be
every
replaced
political
by
thing.
new secular religions, like COVIDism.
Well, this is
climatism.
perfect for colorblind people.
Immediately, the guy's dropping COVIDism. I don't
that's
know
good
if he
political
had
speak.
somebody write this for him or like do a full study, but that is beautiful.
Yeah.
People love the fake words.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I said. That's good stuff.
I'll be
No,
right
like,
back.
The
I'm gonna
fake
drop
words
off
is
my
not like
cell
it
phone.
would not be a complaint.
Okay.
No, I think fake words is generally.
Can you even see the colors on the screen, Blaine?
I can see green and red and angry.
Okay, good.
And gender ideology. We hunger to be part of something bigger than ourselves, yet we cannot even answer the question of what it means to be an American. Today, the woke left preys on that vacuum. They tell you that your race, your gender, and your sexual orientation govern who you are, what you can achieve, and what you're allowed to think. This is psychological slavery, and that has created a new culture of fear in our country that has completely replaced our culture of free speech in America. And that is why today I am announcing my run for President of the United States. This isn't just a political campaign. This is a cultural movement to create a new American dream for the next generation. To me, the American dream means you believe in merit, that you get ahead in this country not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. It means you believe the people who we elect to run the government.
Look at that, Veritax. He's got a pearly smile.
All right, those are definitely fake teeth.
Government are the ones who actually run the government, not a federal bureaucracy that grows like a national cancer that is now metastasizing to the private sector. It means that
It's
the best
metastasized
ideas
into the
win
private
instead of getting censored. It means you don't have to
Metastasized.
choose between speaking your
Good
mind
stuff.
freely and putting food on the dinner
I'm pretty sure
table.
that one's a real word,
means
isn't
you
it?
believe these
Oh, yeah,
ideals
yes,
form
it
the
is.
backbone of the greatest
It's
nation
the way
on
he
earth,
says it's funny.
that the rest of the world still looks up to as its example. Not the Soviet Union in the last century, and not communist China in this one either. That is the new
Those are
American
my
dream.
kind of buzzwords. Hell yeah.
Ask yourself if you
Hell yeah,
believe in
brother.
these ideals.
Plus, he's
I
got the
think
small brown
most of you
shield.
do. I think most of you believe your neighbors do too, though you can't be sure because you don't feel free to talk about it anymore. You might disagree with each other about corporate tax rates or about whether ivermectin treats COVID, but those are details. We still agree on our nation's most fundamental principles. At least most of us do. Yet the goal of the ruling party in this country is to convince us that we are divided. Why?
Extra points if he had dropped an RNC head up here, like a Mitch. Ooh, that would have
Oh,
been
he
good.
actually does talk about that. Yeah, he does,
Does
talk
he?
about some. He talks
Oh.
about the fact like, oh yeah, the Republican Party's not gonna like me. Like I'm not gonna get money from them. I have to fund myself. Yeah.
Great. He's like the right's Bernie Sanders.
I mean, he's very much a Trumpite.
Stop letting dudes talk for chicks. No.
So they can accumulate more power for themselves.
Haven't you seen Fansite? Didn't you watch the was it Congress talking about trans medications or something like that? And like the people that were representing women were all trans.
Well, you know what? I have a dream that we can be one people.
He's running as a
We
Republican.
have obsessed so much over our diversity and our differences that we forgot all the ways we're really just the same as Americans, bound together by
Does
a
Trump have a
common set of
nickname for him
ideals
yet?
that brought
No,
together.
I don't even. Not that I know of.
okay.
They actually like each other. It's not like they've been beefing. Not like they've been beefing like they've been at McDonald's without their
think-
burger for like the past 20
I'm
minutes.
pretty sure Trump's nickname for him is the fact that Trump can't pronounce his name. My friend Vivek Ramshamawama. Like,
Shamalama ding dong.
I'm pretty sure it was Ram Shamawa or something like that. It was.
A divided, diverse, headstrong group of people 250 years ago. And I believe deep in my bones that those ideals still exist, and I am running for president to revive them.
Does he like anime? Most
E
important
pluribus
question.
Unum. From many, one. That is the dream that won the American Revolution. That is the dream that reunited us after the Civil War. That is the dream that won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is the dream that still gives hope to the free world today. And if we can revive that dream over fraction.
A little work on his sound mixing. I think his background music, while nice
loud.
and like present, it's a little too much. He's still clear and I can hear him over the noise, but you're hitting that point where anyone who's like over 55 is going to have issues hearing him over the music.
Group identity than nobody in the world. Not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we will need to revive to save this great nation.
Okay, so that's what he wants us to know about him. We can support him right there on the main page. Policy visions. 25 policy commitments take America first further than Trump. Revive the American national identity. Unleash the American economy. Achieve greater than 5% GDP growth.
Oh yeah, his idea is he wants to beat inflation by just literally booming the economy.
I mean, that's my argument.
Drill, frack, and burn coal.
Yeah.
Raise hell, praise hell.
Or yeah, a really, really big thing is getting more nuclear energy. It doesn't
Bring
need
it
to
in the
be,
wall like cowboy.
Like, nuclear energy doesn't need to be sustainable. It's just better. We could just make it better anyway, or it's just going to be better anyways.
Abandon the climate cult and unshackle nuclear. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Off topic, but Blaine, I'm still laughing at that stupid Formula Ferrari joke.
Oh my
Reel
god.
I sent you.
Yes.
No.
Can that's a real stat that I gave you.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen has more wins from Charles Leclerc on pole than Charles Leclerc has wins from Charles Leclerc on pole. Sucks to be Ferrari.
That's sad.
Sucks to be us right now because this guy makes a lot of sense, but there's no way he's gonna win.
Right.
No, he's not going to be Trump. Unless if Trump was actually prevented from running, he's probably winning. So
He's like,
I think he beats Ron. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like how Red Bull has two drivers. They've got Max Verstappen, who can win the championship on his own, and Checo Perez, who is doing his best. And Checo's just there in case Max has like a heart attack while he's on the road. He can still win a race.
Yeah.
That's all. It's what he's here for. When Trump eats one too many burgers or has that Diet Coke induced arrhythmia finally.
I would like Vivek as a vice president because I don't think there's anything wrong with putting him in there because he doesn't run for other policy positions anyways, or he doesn't run for any other offices.
Be interesting seeing him and Kamala having a debate, the vice presidential debate.
Yeah.
So you have two Indians that debating each other.
Dot versus feather.
Well, that'd be if Elizabeth Warren was VP.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. For some reason, I thought Kamala was pretending to be Native American.
Kamala.
Kamala. What am I trying to think of here? Oh, what if he gets like stuck in like a secretary position?
I mean, he would have the choice whether he wanted to do it or not under Trump, right? So like,
yeah,
wouldn't really bother me if whatever he chooses.
Stick him on energy and be like, hey, go do nuclear. How do you declare independence from communist China when they own so much of our treasury securities?
Say who cares?
Don't start this with me.
Yeah, just say like who cares? We're not paying you.
I want to hear this. Hold on. No. I want him
money.
to start it. Veritax,
Do you know why they own our treasury securities? Because they need our currency in order to do business with us. In order for us to buy shit from China, they need American dollars. That's how it works. The American treasury securities are the American people's savings. The fact that the government runs a deficit means we have money. So the more of a deficit that America generates, it's not a debt the same way you look at like credit card debt or a debt that like someone could be like, oh, I need you to pay this back. That's not what it's for. Other companies, like Japan owns a huge chunk of our national debt. And they specifically do that in order to have better trade with us because they need our currency in order to do trade with us. China may have a 8 million debt bubble. Yeah, China as a company might go under. That'll be fine. But them going under doesn't change our dollar. If anything, all of our shit gets cheaper because they go like their stuff's worth nothing and they have to use our money to do anything.
For now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this whole generational collapse over in China is gonna.
I don't think it's gonna be as fun as you thought it would be.
He didn't say it'd be fun. He was interested.
Yeah.
It can suck and still be interesting.
Could be kind of funny.
Well, I didn't say funny. I said I don't think it'll be fun as you thought it would be.
I'm interested to see it.
It'll be great for people who go, yeah. How's that population control work for you? Great for pro-life advocates.
Curious.
We need to quit bailing out half these companies. Kind of, but also not. Because again, you're just putting more, like, if you put cash into circulation, the only time that becomes a problem is when the GDP doesn't grow in response to that. In Fansite, you nailed it right there. When the cash doesn't go to something that actually generates more product, then it becomes problematic. However, you then have the subsequent argument that what do those execs do with their bonuses? If they take their bonuses and buy yachts, then people had to make those yachts. People had to make the parts that went into the yachts. And it's like it creates an entire like industry from this one purchase. So like the economics argument is not so simple as don't do this. That doesn't fix it. That's not how this works. When did the Chinese kid thing end? What was it called? Was it one child policy or two
One
child
child policy.
When did that end? Because I feel like when I was a kid,
You
that
mean
was
the
still
genocide
around, right?
on girls?
Yeah, that one.
Policy.
2015? What the hell?
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that they
That's
ended
how
it.
it go. That's how it be.
Jeez. I didn't know that they.
When did
I
it
thought
start?
that was 1979.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was in the 70s, but I guess it was a little bit later than I was
Fuck,
thinking.
that is like 50 years waiting to collapse.
I'm surprised that it's
That's why
taken
it's as
until
bad as
now
it is,
for
yeah.
it to become an issue. Oof.
Well, and because it's becoming a rapid issue.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, if you've got that, like, you basically destroyed a generation. Wait, 40 years is what we classify generations anthropologically, I think. So, like, basically a generation is just like, oh, you don't. This one doesn't really get to expand.
You mean like 2 of them, actually, if we're talking about 20
Well, I
years?
mean, the thing is, the first generation doesn't matter because the first generation
Feel
has
like-
the same amount of people, or well, not the same amount. It has a lot of people, but then they can't have kids. They can't have kids. That's the problem.
Right.
It's because there's not any women. And also, Chinese men are not attractive as other races, but so, you know.
You
it's
mean
hard
we
for it to get
can't go over there and steal their women?
I don't find any men attractive, so I mean, I
Yeah.
guess whatever Serrano finds attractive or unattractive.
Yeah, I don't find Chinese
Oh,
men attractive either.
Those fake city investments that they do in China, they're insane. Like, their entire economy feels like a paper tiger.
Oh,
like,
dude, it is so fucking funny
Like-
seeing those stupid TikToks where it's like China's living in the year 2050.
yeah, and then
It's
you're
just
like,
like a
oh,
bunch
they're
of
just
bright
lying
lights
to
and
their
shit.
government to say, oh, we're producing the thing you told us to. Or there was this other one where, because there's that channel that just hates China. I forget what they're called. Like
China Uncensored.
China Uncensored, yeah. And they
I
had
showed it
that
to you.
one story on the this company made this car, and to make the car look like it was really valuable, they manufactured a bunch and sold a bunch, but they just dumped them in the woods.
Yeah, they sold a bunch.
You know who
themselves.
also did that? The Soviet
Ford,
Union.
probably? Oh. I thought we were gonna get a little closer to home there. I was like, homologations are pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Was that the Yugo?
Was
the
it
only person that
Ford?
could buy it was the middle of
Ford.
Serbia.
That's what they're
Was it
doing right now because they
Ford?
don't have parts to finish them. They're just putting them in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, we'll finish it someday. Let nature grow a new door on there.
No, I watched the Meg for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, the
And
shark.
so they go,
movies.
this is China, and I'm like, all right, well, I already know this movie is fake because there's no smog in the air, and it looks new.
Depends on what China you're in, I guess. If they're in Shanghai, it's pretty smoggy. If they're in, I don't know, Xuanyu or something like that, probably less smoggy.
What does it look like in Wuhan?
It is a giant cement block. It looks like, do you ever see Reboot when like the GameCube comes down?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It looks kind of like that.
Thank you for referencing that show. The original?
Oh, of course.
I
I've
heard
got
they rebooted
Canadians in my
Reboot.
audience. I have to know that one. Yugo is Yugoslavia, I thought. Yeah, that makes sense. But anytime I think of Soviet vehicles, I think of the Yugo. It's just whatever. Imagine if India ever decided to want more territory at China's expense. India
No.
doesn't even know that they could just walk over there. Like, there is so much
Well, no, they have
China
border
that they don't
skirmishes,
care
yeah.
about.
Yeah, India and China have border skirmishes.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
pretty regular, I think, actually.
Because some of those cities and pictures of India, they're all just like stacked on shit. Like, it's like someone was like thinking of
trains.
making Japan, but like they did it while playing Jenga. They're just like, yeah, this'll hold for now. It's the whole country is just ready to topple with too many people. Telling you that they invade China, they get free Bob's and Vagine. They could. All right, independence from China. Speaking of China, that's why we were talking about China, I guess.
Well, that's not going to work, Gemini, here because they already know that it's just dudes over there.
Well, only if they go too
Because
far.
all the one-child policy.
Oh.
Like, no, we went over there. It's just a sausage party.
There was sword fighting in the mountain border zone a few years ago. That's kind of based. Like, that is, if we're gonna have border disputes, it should be done with the sword. That's the rule. Okay. Russia wants to roll in on Ukraine to take territory. We want to take Canada. Blah, blah blah blah. All this kind of stuff. The new rule for the modern world is if you want to take land from another country, you got to do it by the sword. All right? We fix it right there.
What if it's a gun sword?
Still a sword.
All right. Fix bayonets.
My sword will be made by Raytheon, and it will be laser guided, but it will still be a sword.
Get a sword drone strike.
just swords on drone props. So we're gonna hold the CCP accountable for COVID. Use all financial levers. Cool. Let's see how that works out. They'll just make more fake shit to make it not matter to them. Achieve semiconductor independence, secure a modern way of life. I think we're already moving towards this, actually. Very, very important that we do so. But didn't they? Aren't there 2 plants that are going up, and then we're gonna start working with like South America?
One reason he actually talked about that was because somebody brought up Taiwan. Would you be willing to defend Taiwan from China? And you'd say like, yes, insofar as it protects our interests, we need them because we need the semiconductors. I want to make a semiconductor independent so we don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not just semiconductors that we need from them. I mean, it's other stuff.
No, but yeah, it's just like the larger schema. Is that we need stuff from them. That's why we protect them.
Yeah.
I feel like a Taiwan invasion would probably go worse than Ukraine's been going for Russia.
A lot worse, yeah. Especially because we have subs in the water right now.
Dude, could you imagine what Japan would be, how bad Japan would be freaking out over that?
No. No, I don't know how bad they'd be freaking out because I'm pretty sure they're still run by their equivalent of a right wing. They would be like, oh.
Every party they have is a conservative party, actually.
Nanjing Part 2. They've got a giant cohort of hikikomori, or dudes sitting alone in their room with nothing else to do that they could just give the controls to drones to and let them min-max their way through the countryside. Sword missile, yes.
Smissile, Smord, Missile.
Get yourself a
Missile.
Yeah, I'm lagging the fuck out. I'm gonna leave.
That's too bad.
All right, peace.
Today we're talking about the top secret ninja bomb.
Oh, I love this thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. This is hilarious.
Katanas. Also known as the flying ginsu, as a reference to the fancy Japanese cooking knives. More officially known as the R9X Hellfire missile variant.
We decapitated Al Qaeda guy, didn't we?
Yeah.
Refuses to admit that we actually have these. But that makes sense because if Geneva finds out that Uncle Sam is shooting blenders at people he doesn't like, they're going to be pretty upset. We really don't know a whole lot about this. I mean, it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, which is ridiculous. I mean, Wyoming's got a Wikipedia page, and I'm not even convinced that that place actually exists. But here's what we do know. Supposedly, development began in 2011 during the Obama administration because there was too much collateral damage being done by drone strikes. So basically, they took a Hellfire missile, removed all the explosive parts, and put fucking samurai swords in it instead. Normally,
I love the idea. When I was a kid, we used to talk about how, oh, if there was like a flag here and we launched a missile at it, we could come within 100 feet. And that was like crazy. And then it got to like 10 feet. And now we can launch it so that a like 3-foot spinning sword will decapitate a dude.
In theory.
In theory, yes.
Because when the guidance system's being operated by a trans person who's off their meds, you don't know what's going to happen.
The system's accuracy is high enough. But we definitely need the Hikikomori army on this.
a target and then explodes. The ninja bomb, on the other hand, flares out a bunch of swords like it's General Grievous right before it dices the bad guy into nothing. And allegedly, those swords are so accurate that if the CIA was going to shoot at somebody while they were in a car, they have to know which seat of the car that person is sitting in. I'm trying to tell you this is how Uncle Sam says fuck you in particular. He's out to prove a point because he just got a knife kill, yet it still costs 6 figures. Granted, we don't know how much this exact variant costs, but the average Hellfire missile costs like $150,000. And apparently the American taxpayer is willing to pay that to stab a motherfucker. Really though, who'd have thought swords would be making such a strong comeback this late in the game? What's old is new again, apparently, huh? Who'd have thought the next time somebody said fix bayonets, it would be on a fucking Hellfire missile? Really though, as far as ridiculous weapons, this is right up there with the Mark 19. I guarantee this was also made by a third grader. What's that, little Timmy?
Made by a third grader. It's so great. What are you drawing there? I'm putting swords on a missile so that when it like gets close to the guy, it goes and then you can chop him up. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Oh, so Alex, there was a big...
Write that down.
Because I'm actual aviation, so back in like 2008, 2009, when drones were really taking off, there was a big to-do over whether drone pilots could wear a flight suit and wear... legitimately, they wanted to wear flight suits, and whether they could wear wings, pilot wings.
Give it to them.
And I said no and no. No and no on that.
Get them their own little like space suit. Make them feel good. Like there's no problem with that.
They need their pea suit.
Yeah, they need that suit to pee in.
Oh my gosh. The flight suits. Look, the flight suit's a thing, man. That's an identity.
They need to pee. How could you deprive them of that?
What if there's a
Are
fire?
they supposed to pee in a bottle?
They should get FIA certified.
That's what we have to
fire
do.
Suits.
We don't have pee suits.
You have to pee in the plane.
You don't just pee in the suit? You're kidding me.
No, you pee in a bottle.
You tell me you're doing these air maneuvers. You pull out,
You
okay,
got time
pull
to
out the
pee in
bottle.
a bottle?
Yeah. What? It's a helicopter.
Just pee your pants. It'll dry.
No.
What if
Oh
you're in
my
an F-16? You're telling me you pull out a bottle while you're flying an F-16. You're like, oh, I guess I'll just pull this out. Just like, whoopsie.
There is more room in the cockpit than you think.
Yeah, you have the dedicated
I bet you
pee
also.
storage.
I bet you also wanted to cancel the quartering because he peed in a vent.
What?
Quartering.
Great.
He peed down a drain in his basement.
If you're a guy, you pee anywhere you want.
Yes, I'll pee the suit. What?
I mean, you can pee in the suit, but
that's
what
what
after
Kelly
you pee in the
said.
suit, it's just like, okay, now I'm wet. Now what do I do?
For how long? Aren't you in like Iraq?
For like an 8-hour flight, if you, I can hold it, but if you've got an empty bottle of Gatorade, you pee in the bottle of Gatorade.
Why don't you just pee out of the chopper at that point?
You could do that too. It doesn't. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story.
It's gonna evaporate by the time it hits the ground.
This is a story that did not happen overseas. This happened stateside. And I was not on the aircraft when this happened.
Okay.
However, we had an aerial gunnery training at another location. And so we went there. And when you go, you take a contingent of maintenance personnel with you, like myself as a crew chief or a mechanic, avionics, sheet metal guys, stuff like that. We had an avionics guy. We went to lunch at the local Wendy's, and we picked it up and brought it back. And then we were heading back to the base, and there was the avionics. We had an avionics guy with us in the back of another aircraft, and I don't know how he did this, but apparently he had to go to the bathroom. Number 2.
Oh yes, yes.
Apparently,
Why are you excited about that?
Because he's gonna shit off the jump deck.
So, I don't know how he managed to do this.
What's
and the
the
crew chief
aircraft?
didn't know. He might have just been zoned out. I mean, whatever. But he was at the back of the troop area. And pooped in the Wendy's bag.
Oh no! What?
He pooped in the Wendy's bag. So now he's got a bag of shit.
Oh, shit
Okay.
bag.
And
Should've
at
just
some
shipped his
point,
pants.
at some point, we're going to land and he's going to have this bag of shit. And there's going to be a lot of questions, I guess. I mean, this is what I think.
I mean,
is
it's an
going to-
easy answer. I mean, there's one question. Why do you have a
Why
bag of shit?
in the bag?
Bag of
Why are
shit,
you
man.
holding the bag of shit?
You gotta go, man. That's all there is to it.
So apparently, for whatever reason, he decides he doesn't want to be left holding the bag.
Right.
So he opens the troop door and tosses it out. Okay. I guess the assumption by this brilliant avionics guy was that it was going to go down. But when you're traveling at 120 miles an hour, the bag doesn't go down. The bag goes right down the side of the aircraft.
Oh no. He
And
painted
so-
a new line.
So he opens the troop door and throws it out, and the crew chief saw something and goes, "What did you do?" And I don't know what conversation transpired at that point. But when we got back, there's shit all the way down the down the airfield. And forever. And so you went from being the guy who had to poop in the Wendy's bag, from the guy who threw a poo-filled Wendy's bag out of a moving aircraft.
They're not studying their best.
It may have bear attacks. He had the poo bag. And so the funny thing was, years later, me and my wife were over at our in-laws' house, or at her parents' house.
Yeah.
And they had something going on with their washing machine.
Just a brown.
And so they had Sears come in and do some warranty work. Well, he shows up.
No.
And the whole time, like, he shows up and he walks in and he's working on it. He looks at me. He recognizes me and nothing. Like, we're looking. And he knows that I know. And he knows that as soon as he leaves this house, I'm going to tell everybody about how I know him. But I was like, that's the dude. And my wife just sees me like, what are you doing? What's that stare about? I was like, that's the dude who shit in the bag. Threw it out the aircraft.
Yeah, that story I'm always telling about the shit bag. It's
Oh
him.
my gosh. It was such a... It was so good. It was so good. I don't know. How do we get... Oh, about peeing and you just pee out the aircraft? No. So you don't pee into the wind. So you don't pee into a crosswind either. So...
Oh, no.
Yeah, but if you
definitely
just like... You just drop the back, the tailgate, and you just can't pee out the back, right?
No, we had one crew chief because so you
No.
communicate with all the communications inside the Black Hawk are done via cable, right? And so, when you're outside the aircraft, you've got the cable that runs into the aircraft and hooks up to your helmet so that you can communicate with the pilot, and the pilot can communicate to the crew chief. And so it's this long cable that you're carrying around like a vacuum cleaner electrical cord if you're vacuuming around the house or something like that. And
I think it's only a crime if it hits somebody, Nico.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a band that got in trouble for opening up their black water on a bridge, but the only reason they got in trouble because it got all over a bunch of people.
Yeah. So one of the crew chiefs was walking around the aircraft and he knocked over the other crew chief's Gatorade bottle. And so he picked it up and, saved what he could and put the cap back on. He goes and tells his buddy, he goes, "Hey, I knocked your Gatorade over. I'm sorry. But, I saved some." He goes, "It's not Gatorade."
Oh, no.
It's not Gatorade.
Dave Matthews Band? I think so. He's going to stop CCP affiliates from buying American land. That's good. Use our military to annihilate Mexican drug cartels defending against the CCP's opium war.
Good.
Ban U.S. business from expanding in China until the CCP stops cheating. Dismantle the bureaucracy. Shut down toxic government agencies. Department of Education, FBI, IRS, and more, and rebuild from scratch when required.
He doesn't say delete the EPA, so...
I like the idea. That would be a hard one to succeed on, though, I think. End civil service protections for bureaucrats, 8-year term limits instead, eliminate federal employee unions. Move 75% of federal employees out of Washington, D.C. and end pro-lazy remote work option. Yeah, because they're gonna work so much harder in an office. I don't think they know how bad it is with some modern employees. Cut wasteful expenditures. White House, not individual agencies, will submit budget requests to Congress. End weaponization of government and financial markets. ESG rules, good idea. Oppose CBDCs. Was that it? There's only 5 points. I'm in.
Mine, yeah, this is just like, I mean...
I thought it said like
say
20 points or
just...
something, right? Or is it each one of those sub points is a point? It says 25 points.
I assume those are each a point.
Oh, so it's like 5
I say
each.
you're trying to get people to vote for you. You're not trying to give them your entire political philosophy, because nobody actually wants to hear that.
Right.
I mean, who actually goes to websites anyways?
He has.
Yeah, that's like if you're going to the website, you need the short of it. That's what everybody would actually want.
He has a YouTube. He posts shorts of himself yelling.
Hey guys,
I
a couple
post
of
a
days
lot
on
of
the
videos.
campaign.
Yeah,
We're
lots
just
of the
getting
videos
warmed
I
up.
post are from his
Good time
channel.
with Tucker on stage in Iowa. Love that he asks hard questions. Just got off stage at Turning Point here in Florida, and we're getting ready for the debate stage. I need your help. We're not doing the big donor thing. We're doing the small grassroots movement.
Oh, grassroots, he said it.
In it. I've put in $15 million
He's
or
a grassroots?
more, actually, already of my hard-earned money. But we're going to need all of you to lift this up. Help us get there. The debate's next month.
Alex Moore confirmed boomer. He probably types it into Google too. Google find Vivek.
Ask Jeeves, who's Vivek Ramaswamy?
Vivek, who's your mommy?
It was Dave Matthews Band over a Chicago River on August 8th, 2004. A tour bus belonging to Dave Matthews Band dumped an estimated 800 pounds of human waste from the bus's Blackwater tank through the Kinsey Street Bridge in Chicago onto the passenger sightseeing boat Chicago's Little Lady, sailing in the Chicago River below.
No. Makes it even worse.
Wait, they didn't pay anything to anybody?
They paid $200,000 to EPA and other projects. They also donated $100K to 2 groups that protect the river. Yeah, they didn't pay the people that got shit on.
Yeah. He literally shitted on him.
So, this is Kokuto Manju. These buns are delicately infused with
what is he saying?
Kokuto Okinawan
Oh wait, there's
brown
subtitles.
sugar. Sakura is a subscription service where you receive a monthly box.
Let's go down here to Vivek. Vivek Ramaswamy. He's also running for president, by the way.
This one was just me showing you that his voice is similar to this other guy. You can watch this little bit. It just says opinion piece on Vivek.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
just a...
the video is about like potential Trump running mates.
Oh, I see. The VP pick analysis. Got it. All right, we'll go.
Yeah, I just thought his voice is similar to Vivek. I thought it was kind of funny.
We'll go to his identity crisis.
Sounds very generic.
What does?
Do you really think it's a good idea to try?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an American.
I'm a successful entrepreneur, and I'm running for president of the United States. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis. Faith, patriotism, and hard work have disappeared. Wokeness, gender ideology, and the climate cult have taken their place. We spend so much time celebrating our diversity that we forget the values that bind us together. And I believe deep in my bones those values still exist. I'm Vivek Ramaswamy, and I approve this message because we can take our country back.
You should accept yourself just the way you are. What does that say about...
You know what I would say? I'd have a commercial. I'd be like, normalize being normal. Vote for me.
I'm a dude.
I'm just a regular dude.
I'm just a regular dude doing regular things.
I'm just a regular
rock,
family.
flag, and eagle, right, Charlie?
All right, we did that one. What is this? What is this, Jimmy?
I am the Nerevarine. I am the Nerevarine.
Realize that you're proving my point. that you're acting immature, showing that you don't know how to communicate and you can't control your emotions.
I am the Nerevarine.
But you do have a talent that I value. So I'm going to give you one last chance to maintain your dignity and leave my office. Now. Because if I have to call security, you understand that I'm also going to have to fire you.
What is this?
What are we watching?
I have no idea.
Do you not
It
know what
doesn't-
the source of this joke?
No, it doesn't seem useful.
Oh yeah, this is just from a TV show, obviously, but it's just he starts saying, "I am a surgeon" over and over and starts breaking
Are
down.
you
It's kinda
clicking on
funny.
Gemini links again?
I did. I clicked the Gemini.
Never do that.
Sometimes they're good.
You should always click on strongest link.
Who I should become is.
Oh gosh, that's loud. Is that loud for everybody?
Not insanely loud.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
That just now off the table because I'm already good enough in every way? So am I done or something? Get the hell up. Get your act together. Adopt some responsibility. Put your life together. Develop a vision. Unfold all those manifold possibilities that lurk within. Be a force for good in the world.
What is it? Skip. Okay, coming up.
These are Vessies. They're waterproof.
These are Vessies.
That
See,
makes them
these are what I'm
rainproof.
talking about. These are
Doesn't really
Vessi
rain
shoes.
where I live. Okay, how about
Political landscape in
I've
doing
never
so.
saw that ad.
Vivek is an American business leader
There we go.
and New York Times best-selling author of Woke Inc. Inside Corporate America's Social Justice
Woke
Scam,
Inc.
along with his second book, Nation of Victims.
Oh, real quick.
Why?
Should I?
This is not selling me on it. This is a terrible job by him.
Well, this
So,
is Peterson's.
care what he
Why are we
wrote.
watching Peterson's?
By JP?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just his massive. This is a long one.
That's what she said.
Should
I
I
had some that I liked better.
Should I use the Earth Seal on Kanas?
What level is he?
14.
You could level him up, or you could do it now, yeah.
Okay. And then I'm
We
gonna
like
sell,
Bijou.
I'm selling the Elysian Whip because I get another Elysian Whip in this next round.
Yeah.
We like Bijou?
That's not
Yeah, we
true,
like
Jimmy. I
Bijou.
like the Bible.
Yeah, this is the most important book.
Like I read on my stream every night.
Here's the thing for Bijou. You stream every night and you read the Bible every night on your stream?
Almost every night. And almost every stream.
Bijou? I don't even know what that is.
There's Bijou. I gave you a picture.
Yeah, it's a weird picture.
Yeah, take a look at that.
I'm looking at it. I don't get it. It's just a truck going off.
She's driving a truck. She's really good. She's good at driving trucks.
She's a bad truck driver.
No, but the truck's going forward though, so that means she's good at it.
Okay.
Identity politics, the death of merit, and the path back to excellence.
It just doesn't sound good because
Born
as
and
Blaine was
raised
talking
in
about, the
Cincinnati,
audio sounds
Ohio,
bad
he
because
often
it's
recounts the
echoey
sage
room.
advice from his father.
Yeah. Forget.
Why don't we watch one where it's not echoing like crazy?
Is he gonna stay like echoey the whole
Yes,
time?
Vivek Ramaswamy,
that's
who
literally
I'm
his
talking to today-
audio. Like, why would we listen to this?
Because you linked it.
That's not what I linked.
I just clicked something.
What
I
are you
thought
talking about? I
linked.
never linked that.
Who linked that one though?
Probably Gemini.
All right.
Where did you get this link from? I don't remember this.
I don't know. Maybe it autoplayed.
Maybe he does.
Yeah, probably autoplay. I was like, what are you talking about? I never posted that.
Gemini posted the anti-woke candidate and a Lauren Chen interview.
The one I would do would
And
be
then
the
you
Lauren
posted-
Chen interview or the Tucker, or I probably wouldn't say Tucker. Tucker also has like messed up audio because it's on stage. Tucker one is probably good, but I'd probably try the David Pakman because he's an opposing viewpoint, or Lauren Chen.
David Packy Hat, the Paxter, Blue Chew
Today we
Pac-Man,
will-
like we call him.
Because I don't watch any Pakman's content.
What do you think of this guy, Stu? Do you know David
Pedophile.
Pakman? Packfile? Are you a
Packfile.
Packophile?
Pedophile.
That's probably his
I don't know.
bad
I don't
name.
know this guy. I just took a look at him. He looks like one.
He is sponsored by Blue Chew. He's
Watch
done,
his tentacle
and by
porn.
sponsored by, I mean he's got an ad to read. If he's done porn, he's the one sitting in the corner.
No, I said he watches tentacle porn.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's not crazy.
We'll be speaking with Vivek Ramaswamy, who's an entrepreneur, candidate in the 2024 Republican primary, also author of the book Woke Inc. Inside Corporate America's Social Justice Scam, which maybe we will have the opportunity to get to. I really appreciate your time today. I know you're super busy. I'm going to get right into what, fortunately or unfortunately, is often my first question when we speak to candidates right now. It's just sort of like a sanity check, which I think you will pass, honestly.
Let's hope.
Is there any way to interpret that Donald Trump actually won the 2020 election, or did he lose the 2020 election?
Ooh, what an interesting way to talk to your candidate who's trying to defeat Donald Trump. Why is this where you start?
Because he's a leftist.
Is it true or not true that, you know, I did indeed am cuck man?
Like, what the hell? Like, why is that where you start? Maybe start with, like, his policy positions.
The way you're framing the question, you're asking me a very specific question. Is there any way? Here's one important unexplored strand.
Okay.
Okay. The Hunter Biden laptop story and its systematic suppression. I'm a data-driven guy.
Really?
I'm a data-driven guy.
Really?
And if you
Data-driven guy. Really? Was he expecting him to say yes or no? Like, look at this guy. He's not gonna say yes or no. He's gonna dive in and see if you need to extend your car's warranty.
He's a tech bro.
And
What
I
do you
think
expect?
probably are too. based
Absolutely.
on what little I know. So look at the polling data on the aftermath and before and after. There are more than enough people, it's not even by a super small margin, that say they would have changed their vote had they been exposed to that information before that election. The fact is that was systematically suppressed in what was probably the single greatest form of election interference in American history.
And
there was
in
a lot
other
of discussion.
words-
if I may just finish, just so
Sorry.
you get the full.
Yeah,
frame
let
of
me
my
talk,
view.
bitch.
There was a lot of discussion about the legitimacy of the 2016 election on the back of Russian election
Oh
interference. that
man,
actually, it turns out
that's a great turn. Is there any way this person wasn't truly elected? Every time there's a way that person wasn't truly elected. This isn't like a onesie twosie kind of thing. Like, every single time we get together and decide on who runs the country, there is a way that the voting, that the counting, that any number of things are going to mess with what the actual will of the people is going to be at any given time. Of course, that's how it's huge. You can always find the numbers.
was actually much smaller scale than surmised. But on the day of Trump's inauguration, there was a lot of discussion. Hillary Clinton called the election result illegitimate and said that it was partly the product of Russian election interference. Whatever that was, that pales in comparison,
really,
to the effect of the systematic suppression
Another one
on domestic soil of a story that 2 years later, every news outlet in this country has absolutely admitted was indeed true when it was systematically suppressed at the time. So you ask the question, is there any basis? There's your basis.
And it is, do you have an opinion as to, is it the explicit pictures of Hunter that would have in some way changed people's minds, or the as of yet unproven claims that Joe Biden is involved in some kind of bribery fraud scheme, or like what about it?
So I'm not speaking for the survey respondents.
There's
but I
like
can tell you what speaks to me.
There's evidence that Biden was there
'Cause I
when
wouldn't change my
his
vote. I
son
voted
was
for
talking
Trump,
to these
right? So I
people
wasn't one
about
of the
these
survey
deals.
respondents who said I would have changed my vote because of it.
Good.
So here's,
I guess you could
here's
say
what
unproven
does
in the
speak to
fact
me, and I
that
think it's relevant. Let's just take
big
this
news
outside the
media
scope
hasn't
of
covered
political
it like everything
partisanship.
else.
The Burisma payments to Hunter Biden are a deep problem. $5 million paid by a Ukrainian company, privately owned by somebody who at the time was sitting on the National Security Council in Ukraine. Relevant now because A, it did result in an impeachment of a US president who called, that was Trump, who called for further investigation of that in Ukraine, but that wasn't the only geopolitical consequence of it. I think it has deep-seated implications even now for say what many people on Russia's side of this say. Well, you have a US president whose son was dealing, when that person was vice president, with actually
the Ukrainian government indirectly, accepting what in any other context we would call bribes. So much so that President Obama's staff actually raised this with Biden, only to be shouted down by it. This is a bipartisan concern. That's a real issue. Also, the shell companies created to do business with China and the Chinese government, again, paid millions of dollars. That is relevant information on the eve of a presidential election, when the fourth largest newspaper in circulation, the New York Post, founded by Alexander Hamilton, had its social media accounts locked for publishing a story, where you and I would have had our accounts locked for even sending it via direct message or email. So I do think we have to go back and reconcile ourselves with that, have to reckon with that, admit what went wrong if we're actually to move forward in the future. Sweeping that under the rug and relegating that to be the concern of rubes that live in the middle of the country and are election deniers, I think is the wrong approach for us to heal as a country. I think we have to reckon with the fact that we did that as a nation. The United States of America, we let that happen. Admit that. Now, my view is nations make mistakes. You can move forward if you understand those mistakes, but we have to be open about them.
So not to stay on this, but to summarize, in terms of a factual vote dumps or sandwiches and ballots under the table or vans backing in, Mike Lindell, cyber guys.
What are these words he's just spitting out?
Well, he invented QAnon because, you know, that stuff.
I mean, you asked a guy a question, he answered the question, and now you're just listing off other things and names that are like negatively associated with Trump, right? He's like, Mike Lindell. Why are we talking about My Pillow guy? No one cares about My Pillow guy anymore. Look at.
I care about how much he charges for that stuff, because man, that stuff ain't cheap.
Dude, get a square pillow. It'll change your life.
My pillow is square.
I should get a square pillow, yeah.
Or pillow cube. That's what I meant.
Why would I buy a cube?
Because the hole you're trying to fill is actually a square. It's
not a cube.
Round. It is a cube.
That's
well,
not
actually,
a cube.
it is a cube, yeah.
You're just thinking of like a rectangular cube.
I learned about cubes in the same school that I learned about the Ottoman Empire, so I'm probably right on this one.
Not all cubes are perfectly cubical. Anyway, look at Vivek's face here. He's
Mom's
like, why are you saying this? Why you say this? But no, the hole between your head and your mattress is
it's not a cube.
It's a cube.
Looking for bamboo fibers on the ballots. You're not talking about any of that. You're simply saying
you're not saying all of this crazy stuff I just said.
The allegations related to Hunter Biden at the time. Enough people in some states might have changed their votes such that Trump would have gotten to 270. That's your position.
No,
if
they
that
would
story
have.
had
That's
not
what they
been
said,
systematically top-down suppressed.
I gotcha.
I think there's good data to suggest it could have changed the result of the election.
Okay, good. And the point, again, is not to debate it with you, but to get your position on the record. Good.
It's data-driven, so it's not really
I'm
that
super
data-driven.
It's not an opinion, really. It's like pretty obvious how this would
you
play
are right
out.
now one of the people
I mean, if there weren't so many polls that said exactly that, maybe it wouldn't be data-driven, but it's definitely data-driven right now.
Your data's an opinion, Blaine.
It's an opinionatic data set that I am sending to you. That's true. That's the real right there.
That's the true.
True. Big true.
Donald Trump is saying nice things about.
Still goes to people
general.
not doing research.
He mispronounces your name badly.
When everybody that you go, everywhere you go, takes a headline and throws it in the trash, and you look into it, your research is just going to be looking at third parties that say this an actual thing, this a real thing. You're still going to just be reading other articles from other people that are saying this is true. So you still at some point have to believe that those people with those articles are the ones telling you the truth. Are they? we know in this case the answer is yes, but sometimes the answer is no. So do your own research with something like this isn't necessarily useful when everything is being scoured away. So I don't really hold it against people too much that they didn't think that Hunter Biden's laptop was a real thing or a real story or anything like that.
Not only that, but so many people made it into a punchline.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of
No.
the media was like, oh, yeah, you know, this is just more BS.
Bulbous. Oh, no, this didn't work. This really didn't work out for me. I just hope I get the dodge on all that. We'll see. We'll see if I keep the dodge up.
Ramaswamy, which you may care about.
Wrong. Many articles spoke about Biden voting record on things, and I went to the source on certain 2019 campaign promises. Okay, are you talking about the Hunter Biden laptop story, or are you talking about Biden? Because some people will look at Biden's voting record and believe that that's the right voting record. His voting record clearly predicted his support on stupid college loan nonsense, and now Zoomers are butthurt learning it was BS. Oh, man. Alex Moore with the wrong and eat shit. Look at that.
Well, again, you're holding people. You're holding
here?
the country to a unreasonable
standard.
The unreasonable standard. The whole go to Walmart and then talk to people and then imagine half the country's dumber than that person that you talk to. Is that person going to be able to...
Didn't I just explain at the beginning that people will vote based on the sound of a voice, not even the words coming out of the mouth? Michael's rubbed off on Alex. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, no, that is the crazy part. And the Jordan Peterson teaching or trying to teach some guy who is sub 85 how to pack letters into an envelope, and the guy not being able to get it. It's so real when you finally have employees, when you finally have like someone that you're trying to teach or get to learn something, and you actually run into someone who really does have that inability to sort of process information and turn it into things. And you're like, wait a minute, I need to figure out how to get my information conveyed to you so we can get this job done. But it's sort of this weird roadblock that you don't run into most of the time, because most of the time you're interacting with your family. Your family are relatively similar IQ, I would say, similar learning. Even if they're dumber or smarter than you, you still have like a similar language that you can talk to them about. And so you're around these people most of your life. And so when you actually go out and interact with somebody that is does have a harder time learning and doing stuff, it can be very, very jarring, very interesting.
Did we say something racist?
I don't know. Did I? I mean, I might have.
I
wouldn't put it against me, but I don't know who I was mad against.
I mean, I don't remember that we... I can't think any... Though we've really touched on that.
I mean, the
I can't remember being racist. I don't think that happened.
I think I called other people racist, that they wouldn't make fun of Vivek because he's Indian, he's got brown skin. People aren't going to make fun of him because they don't want to be called racist. So I'll call other people racist. Anyway.
But you may not. That's for you to decide. But
it's been an affliction in my life, I will tell you. but I've grown used to it. Best efforts are what I appreciate.
He is generally saying the reason you're surging, he said this Saturday, is because you're actually mostly treating him well, treating him fairly, etc. You're roughly polling 5% right now. Real Clear Politics average, I'm sure there are anecdotal polls that have you higher and lower, but the Real Clear Politics average has you right around 5 right now.
I'm a distant third at 5.
You're a distant third at 5. You do seem to have taken a commanding position ahead of Mike Pence, though, and that we can talk about as well, maybe. My
mean,
question is, from a
has
practical
Mike Pence ever been a serious contender for president, or is he just trying to get his name out there to be like, please let me be vice again? I liked it there.
He's never going to be a vice president again.
Mother wants me to be vice again. Please pick me. Like, are we serious here?
standpoint, is your perspective on Trump calculated in order to sort of be there in case Trump really can't run a campaign because he gets arrested a third, a fourth, a fifth time, maybe even sixth? Is the idea not to turn off the MAGA voter so that if Trump hits trouble, they go to you rather than maybe DeSantis or somebody else? Is that a consideration?
It's not a political calculation. My whole political strategy in this race
It's a Wally
is
Buchanan
to
of the
speak
Republican
the truth, at least
Party.
share my beliefs, tell the people who I am and what I stand for, and leave it to the voters to decide whether that's what they want.
Okay.
And so if I come out of this election where everybody in this country knows who I am and what I stand for, and that's not what they want, I'm at peace with that. I'm very much at peace with that. And that's exactly the
It's
system
good that he's
working as
made
it
his
should.
peace.
The more I learn about and the experiences I have, the more difficult I realize how hard that is for certainly me and probably any other candidate to actually achieve that goal. But anyway, the reason I'm saying what I am is I actually do believe that Donald
just
Trump
believe it.
was an effective president. He was an effective president, no doubt about it. I think he was a good president with whom I agree on most policy questions.
Daddy McCain is looking down smiling. Alex Moore, do you like McCain? I thought McCain was like a career, do whatever it takes to get in the news guy.
McCain was, and McCain, there's a lot, there is a lot of rumors surrounding his time as a POW where he ratted out a lot of people.
Ooh. That wouldn't be nice. But I don't know.
I mean, he was always also the way he treated his ex-wife.
Was he kind of a dick in bed? Is it Richard McCain?
Yeah.
Dude's dead. He is dead.
The reason I'm in this race is that I
I can
believe
tell you,
I
I
can
never
take that
signed a
agenda
no
even further
disparagement
than
of the
he
dead
did,
clause.
and unite the
Oh, McCain liking that Pence Crenshaw ticket. Oh, you guys are talking about a Pence Crenshaw ticket?
That's a yikes.
You won't even see what's coming. That's it's impossible.
the country. in the
He got
process
really, he's like, no.
because for whatever reason, and I don't blame him for this.
Oh
but I
my
think
God,
it's
no.
just a fact.
Keep that out. Keep that
That
sin away
30%
from
of this
me.
country becomes, I would say mentally ill in a certain form, psychiatrically ill.
I've
where they
heard you
start-
say that.
Yeah, they agree with things that they otherwise wouldn't have agreed with. They start disagreeing with things they otherwise would have agreed with just because he's saying them.
Trump derangement syndrome.
And I think that for
Yep.
whatever reason, I'm not yet having that effect on people, and I don't think I will.
No,
And that
you don't
allows us
seem
to
to make
unite the
people
country.
crazy. The interesting thing about the psychiatric thing, your background is in, if I understand, undergrad biology and then business. Mine is in economics and communication. Neither one of us are doctors. But one of the interesting things is I was in Chicago last weekend. I was sitting very close proximity to a table of MAGA folks who were talking about the primary, and I was just listening in like a fly on the wall. It was an incredible sociological experience as a progressive. I was out of my bubble. And they start talking about, who's really in charge? It's Obama through the military. And then
Okay, I have heard this new take.
Well,
Apparently,
technically, just like the old quote unquote, the Democratic Party that's been around since Obama is who's in control. Yeah, like
is
Biden
the
doesn't do
idea
anything.
that officials that appointed. Okay, so they're talking about like the people who are behind Biden, who would be like, signing his diapers or whatever, are the people that are actually in control of the country, or are they? Oh, I forgot to dance. Dang it. Or are they saying that the literal people that were stuck into power by Obama in the military or the FBI or whatever are the ones who are running the country? I haven't looked into this conspiracy at all.
Well, the Democratic Party,
Is
like
it
the
difficult
actual
to
apparatus, is very homogenized. So it's hard
Is
to
it difficult to breathe or
believe?
Given the amount of time, it would be difficult to believe that the people in the military that were, because like doesn't the presidential appointments in the military aren't many, are there? Like who does the president appoint in the military other than them being the chief?
Oh
Well,
no,
they actually
but
they get
the
the choice of promotions.
You're in charge of Joint Chiefs of Staff being the key part there. Secretary of State, all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of talk.
So is the idea that the ones that have come with Biden are the same ones that were around with Obama?
Yeah,
or
there was a lot of talk when Obama.
Because I feel like Trump would have appointed his own, right?
Yeah, they do. They appoint their own, and they get.
Well,
yeah, that's what,
that was mostly the part that because Mike Flynn,
yes,
was not there very long, and we know that Mattis was not really there to rock the boat. I don't think there was much of anything involving the military that Trump really changed. He didn't ban transgenders. He didn't do much of anything to change the culture, I think, in the military, other than we're not going to be at war anymore. But there was a lot of talk when Obama came in or during Obama's presidency, that he got rid of a lot of the Bush regime, which was a lot of neocons anyway, and replaced them with his folks, and that really muscled a lot of, good soldiers out of the military. And if we didn't replenish that in the 4 year after 8 years of that, and we didn't do a drastic culture change in the 4 years that Trump was president, and look what we've got. So I have a very pessimistic view of the condition of the.
So Mark Milley, nominated by Trump.
Yeah.
Serving since 19. Christopher Grady, nominated by Biden. McConville, nominated by Trump. Biden, Trump, Biden, Trump. I mean, it feels like a strange argument to me that it would be like, oh, but Obama's really the one running it. When, like, let's assume that the guys that Biden put in place were all ones that Obama had previously said were good. You have 1, 2, 3 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So the question you would ask would be
clearing out in the same way.
The question you would ask would be, who were those guys serving under during the Obama administration? Were they Obama appointees or Bush appointees?
So like James C. or you want to take this guy's just acting. He's not even like fully in there.
Yeah.
B. Chance Saltzman. Let's look at this guy.
Space Force?
Chief of Space Operations from 2020. He was in the Air Force from 91 to 2020, and then Space Force from 2020 to present. I love that we have a Space Force.
So awesome.
I can't look at this because I'm
It's
going to
the
laugh
greatest
the
thing
whole
he
time.
ever did.
And Biden appointed the new Space Force guy. He didn't get rid of the Space Force position. All right, let's look at Christopher Grady. That might be more. Look at that guy. He's a fucking stone ass face. All right, history. Wait, where's your Foreign Service? Carrier Strike Group 1. He was nominated by President Trump for appointment to the rank of Admiral and assignment as Commander of the United States Fleet Forces Command. And then nominated by Joe Biden to succeed this guy in the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I don't know. I don't see this as very convincing. But it is an interesting thing to try to look into. I think the more convincing one would be that advisors to the president are probably similar from Obama to Biden. That would be my best guess, I think.
I have no idea about the military like conspiracy or anything like that. I've never heard that. I was more just thinking in general the backroom people that help everything run, like all the bureaucrats. Those are just the same people as when Obama was there. It's the same party.
I don't think that's.
It's not maybe not literally the same, but it's like the same.
Just
all the same
because of how the
ideals, yeah.
military ascension works, that doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the military.
Well, when you're talking about general officers and high-ranking officers, it's a very political environment. So,
True, very very true. But it's political in the rub each other's back kind of way, not really the I support your transgender bill.
On your way up, it is, but once you get to certain levels, yeah, it does come down to, are you going to toe the commander-in-chief's line? Are you going to back him up when you have to relay this to your people? Are you going to be a good example for this? That feeds into kind of my real worry with the military is, because we talk about like the military. Would the military ever be able to be used as a police force in martial law? And for the longest time, and even probably now to a degree, you can say no, because half of the military would probably say, no, I'm not listening. It's very independent minded. It's just from the different groups of people that join the military. But when you start tailoring your recruitment to people who are very state-minded and liberal, progressive, when your military culture starts to be populated with these folks, not worrying about the actual effectiveness of the military, but that's when you get to the point where you have to worry if the president says, oh, okay, maybe we have another COVID thing, and there's a protest of conservatives, and you're like, okay, we're gonna roll the military in. You're gonna get another possible Kent State or worse, and that coming from a federal level, because you'll have troops that are saying no, I believe fully in everything that the state says, and I support that, and people who protest it are the enemy. Look at the attitudes people had during COVID over the lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine an army of pro-COVID people?
I think just the potential for sickness and death is such a controlling force for people that even normally sane, rational people will do insane things when they're met with that. For sure. I think the human psyche is designed around like, I don't want to die to something I can't see.
Yeah.
It's the whole like there is no war in Bossing say, right? Like you can the thing you communicate to people gets their emotions doing something that their logical brain wouldn't typically be thinking about. I'm looking at this article about this is the first one to pop up when I was finally Googled like Obama running the White House conspiracy, and it was Maria Bartiromo talking to Charlie Kirk and saying that Obama's running everything from behind the scenes. And then this article goes in. This is an independent.co.uk. I don't know where they line up with everything. But it does say several Obama administration staffers returned to the Biden White House after adding these wealth and corporate connections in the 4-year interim between postings during Donald Trump's presidency. So they made a bunch of money and they came back when Biden got into office. And this line, Biden added so many former White House staffers to his own cabinet that the Associated Press asked if it was an Obama reunion. So I think it is more that conspiracy of like, oh, these people worked for Obama in the past, and now they're working for Biden, so Obama's running the government. I think that's sort of the line that's being connected there.
I don't know why Obama would want to do that when he has plenty of money and he could just not.
Well,
I got tired
it's
of
an ego thing, and it's a political ideology thing.
But
Kite
what
morning
ego does he get
every weekend.
when he's not at the front of it? His face isn't there anymore. He doesn't, like, he talks about politics still, but it's not like he's the face of the government.
Not for us, but
there is an ego that comes from something that other people will never see. Like, there are parts of my car that I have cleaned up, worked, or polished, or done something to that then get covered up with like a dashboard, and you'll never see it. But the fact that I like wired something in a specific way, I was proud of, and I felt good
cable
at that.
management.
But no one else is going to see
cable
it
management,
ever, right?
People know who they need to go to. You might not be getting he might not be getting the attention from most people, but people in DC know that, oh, if I want any type of audience in the White House, if I can get Obama to sign off on it, I know that I can get some horsepower behind it.
Yeah, that would matter. Yeah,
he's busy drowning ex-chiefs.
Ex-chefs.
Oh, ex-chefs. Wasn't his chef crazy strong, or is that just the Donald Trump chef?
No, one of his chefs drowned, like, in Florida or something, or at their house or something like that.
It wasn't Andre Rush, was it?
I don't know.
How do you not know Chef Andre Rush of
I'm
the
not
White
a
House?
person. I don't watch the Food Network. I'm not a woman.
This isn't Food Network. This is the guy making food for the president. And also ready to go Steven Seagal on some motherfucker. Look at his pythons.
I think I've seen that guy before. I have no idea who he is.
He's Chef Rush.
That's not a chef.
He's a chef. His name is Chef Rush. He cooks food.
His legal name is Chef. That's his first name.
Here he is with his Medal of Honorable Cooking Award.
That's not a real thing.
That seems to dilute the meaning of Medal of Honor, it feels like.
Not Medal of Honor, Medal of Honorable Chefery.
Look, the best chefs are the women in the DFAC line giving you extra bacon.
Oh my gosh, this is a picture of him at a culinary arts competition with a Makita chainsaw going in some ice. He enlisted in the United States Army in 1993, was deployed overseas several times. In 97, he began working as a chef at the White House. He trained hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand? The guy doesn't know how hand-to-hand combat works. Every time he punches someone, they implode.
Bicep pitch before his fist does.
Just fucking hell, yeah. Medal of Honorable Calories. I love it.
And someone else says, the vaccines, this and that and the other thing. And someone else says, we got to get rid of the deep
other
state.
thing. Don't forget
and
those.
one guy goes, you know who I like? I like that Indian guy. They didn't know your name. But they refer to you as that Indian guy because he's not part of the deep state, et cetera, et cetera. The definition of what we mean by psychiatric illness, a lot of the stuff...
Who thinks David Pakman went around a bunch of people who believed opposite things from him? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I call bullshit.
I was just going to this steakhouse and I saw these Trump MAGA guys talking about how they like the Indian feller.
I have referred to him by that like that though because I couldn't remember his name.
The Indian feller.
Well, and you're around someone who they're not. If you told them oh, what do you think of Vivek Ramaswamy's chances in the presidential primary? They'll be like, huh? The Indian guy running for president. There's a very clear line about that. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
That's right. Like that guy with dementia running for president. You knew who we were talking about.
Exactly. We all know.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Grandpa.
I'm hearing from folks about JFK Jr.'s alive and all this different conspiracy stuff that surrounds MAGA. It seems as though when we start just saying psychiatric illness, I don't know if it gets us to where the country is and what would be best.
Oh, I get
for
what
it
he means. Psychiatric
necessarily,
illness
which
is everybody
why I
who
wonder
disagrees
about
with him
this
politically.
talking point you've come up with about Trump makes a third of the country.
So psychiatric illness is what he's saying Vivek says. I think Vivek has talked about TDS would be my guess. Is he's like people get deranged with when Trump is brought up. That would be my guess.
Oh, okay.
That he's like accusing him of.
Us to where the country is and what would be best for it necessarily, which is why I wonder about this talking point you've come up with about Trump makes a third of the country psychiatrically ill. What are you getting at when you say that? That he's too divisive?
No, I think that I'm describing the fact of many people in this country disagreeing with policies that they otherwise would have agreed with, that I believe are good for this country, that Trump believed are good for this country, that they put themselves at odds with just because he's the person arguing for them. Like at the southern border, for example. I went to speak of Chicago, since
I disagree with Trump's southern border plan. I think a wall is a bad idea. It should be an obstacle course, and anyone who can make it through gets citizenship. I think that's the only way we should handle it. I want alligators, a big slide, a rope.
Oh, a moat.
A moat. Yeah. I want an incline that steadily gets steeper as it gets to the end until they finally have to make it up an inverted plane to make it across. And if you do, you get your citizenship card in 1 year instead of 5.
You sound like the soup Nazi.
Hey, just because I got my hair cut.
Bread is $2 extra. He just had it bread for free. $3.
Yeah, you didn't get the Gen Z poof on it on your haircut?
No, I went short because in 2 weeks I'm going to the track, so I need to keep it all tight in the helmet.
Oh. He's got a real Richard Spencer going on there.
I got a new helmet though.
He can't fit in with the Gen Zs because none of them have enough money to actually have race cars.
No, I go racing with a bunch of old dudes in their Corvettes.
Or BMWs.
Or Mustangs, and they'll just...
Hey, I've seen some guys turn in some real good Fox bodies on the track.
No, I'll be over in Shelton. It's a little south of where they filmed the Twilight movies. So I went with an Arai helmet because I'm cool like that.
I got a Bell helmet.
I went with the 5W, so it's got more visor height. Yeah. Also the M6 terminals, so that I can hook up a Hans device once I get my cage put in.
Okay, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
What? You not worried about whiplash?
No.
I've been rear-ended too many times. I don't want more.
Imagine getting whiplash when I'm autocrossing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to work out perfect because I'm going to go to the track day over in Shelton there, and then on the way back, I can leave my car with Rob from Godspeed so that I can get the cage welded in. So it'll be a perfect little trip that weekend.
I saw the picture. It used to be really so nice on the inside.
You know what's insane is I found like $5 in like quarters and nickels under the carpet. How does it get under the carpet? I'm blown away by all of the garbage I found under the carpet in a vehicle.
You tell me how it got under the carpet.
I don't know.
It's your car.
I don't even
Did you buy it
know.
brand new?
No, I was I'm the third owner.
Poor.
Okay.
That's why I haven't done anything to the Stinger, because...
Tell me how many cars you've imported from a foreign country.
I have a Stinger.
I'm a Stinger.
You know what? When you posted that on that picture, you're like laughs in Kia Stinger. I googled coolest Kia Stinger because I wanted to find like a cool Kia Stinger picture. Nothing. Nothing came up. Google auto-corrected me to boring.
Did not.
No, it didn't auto-correct me, but it literally, I said, coolest Kia Stinger. And these are the images. Some dude.
Okay,
next to
Alex
his
going over
Kia.
to Google.
And then just a bunch of pictures of one solid color stock. Like that's interesting. That's a concept, but like none of these are interesting.
I mean, I've seen some all right ones. I've seen some with wings on them, and they look obnoxiously stupid.
I mean, what kind of wing? I saw a
erector set
BRZ.
kind.
I saw a BRZ with the Honda Civic wing. You know that new Honda Civic that has the tall wing on it?
Oh, that looks kind of like the old
It has like
WRX
the weird,
ones.
Yeah, it's got the weird cant on the sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone stuck
The Type
that
R.
on their little tiny BRZ. I was like, what the hell is that for? You could just throw a sandbag in the back. You didn't have to just weigh it down.
It's like the old Type R Cobras.
People are ringing your doorbell? Oh, no. Did you get... Oh. And I found a vehicle that literally was called Spoiler. Did I send that picture to you directly, or did I just take it and not send it to you?
I can't remember. I don't think I saw it.
Let me see if I can...
Did you see the guy in Formula E who he was letting his teammate pass him?
Oh,
and his teammate wiped out his nose or his canard.
Yes, I did.
He was,
I was like,
so
kidding
pissed.
Me.
He's like, I didn't even have to let him by. I could have just won the race, and he did this.
They've got the old boss spoiler.
Oh yeah, you did send me
license
that.
plate says spoiler. It's like yes.
That's back when spoilers were cool.
I have one of those spoilers on my Firebird.
You got a Firebird?
Yeah, I have a 1984. It's the kit Firebird.
I had a 78 Trans Am behind me today with the shaker hood. I mean, the only thing it was missing from eastbound and down was the paint job.
I have the red with the black spoiler and the rear window louvers, and I can never find like a photo of one that isn't mine. So I need to take a picture of mine so that I have it. But it's basically that. Pull this back up.
You want to talk about big cars back then?
Big cars back then? I mean, 84 was when everything was getting tiny.
No, I mean like that. If you get into that and you're like, man, this is a sports car. It's huge on the inside.
Oh,
not
I
like
see.
tall.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but like it's wide.
The craziest thing for me when I get in the Firebird after the WRX is like the shift knob travels about 6 inches back and forth in the Rex, and when you get in the Firebird, it's like 1.5 feet. You're like, it's like you're throwing levers at an old factory. Like it's.
Is your truck that is it? What is it? A K? What do they call them? K
The
trucks?
little K truck. Yeah.
Which is that a manual?
Yep.
Which which has got the bigger throw? The Firebird or the K truck?
I'm gonna guess the Firebird, but the K truck. I'll let you know when it gets here because they have a really tiny transmission that's just right. They're so weirdly built because the engine's actually under the bed, and then the transmission's in front of it, and then it sends the power back to the rear wheel. Or I guess it's all-wheel drive with mine, so it actually does split 4 ways. But yeah, the ones that are rear-wheel drive are super strange because the engine is like in the back, and you're like, why are we shifting so far away? Of course it is. I went with the Honda Acti, so I got the all-wheel drive, baby.
You know, it reminded me of my experience of going to Chicago recently.
You didn't sit next to these people I sat next to, I'm guessing.
No, and actually, I share with you a commitment to get outside my own bubble too.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to the south side of Chicago, where Republican candidates don't go.
Right.
It's a nearly 90% black audience, most of whom are viewed as deep Democrat country. We held a couple of town halls. I got my hair cut at a barbershop. We visited South Shore High School in Chicago, which is partly being converted into an encampment for migrants who are crossing the southern border. I'll tell you what I found. I found some of the most ardent supporters of sealing the southern border who I have met in my life. Didn't come at a conservative MAGA rally. It came on the south side of Chicago. And I think that that's just one example among many. I found some of the fiercest opposition to our war in Ukraine, which
That's such a, like, it's such a no-duh opinion. I find it strange that we're in a world where you have to say that, like, oh, these people that deal with this thing, that thing's really important to them. And it just so happens to align with what you would assume the opposite party would be interested in. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's how it works. That's how all of this works. How is this crazy? And why the from Pac-Man? Come on, Packy, can't you add anything?
by the way, I share in common. And so I don't think the real partisan boundaries that the media teaches us to accept, those aren't the real divisions in this country right now. I think there are different divisions. They do not track traditional Republican-Democrat boundaries. That's an artificial projection.
Are they class divisions more so, or what are they?
Well, I see it as, I cut it through, I think there's some element of class division. I think that there's a deeper division between what I call the managerial class and the citizen. And I think the managerial class pervades multiple institutions. It's not just in government. That is what we call the deep state. And believe me, I care about this phenomenon and believe I understand it deeply. But there,
God, you gotta
deeply like the state.
You're stupid. There's gotta be a better way to say deep state because it sounds so dumb. Like, it sounds like you're the most pig-headed conspiracy theorist when you say it, even though what you're saying, you mean something very specific. You're talking about the people that are stuck into positions of power that we don't vote on necessarily, that may have other motives that are apart from the voter, but they still wield incredible power. The Secretary of Energy, these different positions that we know about, plus all the ones that we don't really pay attention to that are appointed. That is a very real thing. We need a better term than deep state.
Well, when you say it out loud,
when you say I'm worried about the deep state, I have to say it in that accent. It doesn't come out otherwise. It's so frustrating.
You gotta say it like Camelot.
Man,
Personally,
I'm just trying to get myself in them deep state buns, if you know what I mean. I love my Camelot impression.
Personally, as a candidate running for president of the United States, I'm looking to get into that deep state bun action.
Have you? Did I tell you, Stu, the comment I got? Because I have a whole thing talking where I'm impressioning Camelot, trying to smash some puss. And I get this comment. I want to read this verbatim because it's the funniest to me. Here, you're a special kind of person, comma, let me guess, ... pronouns in bio, ? Not only did I just get that comment on that post that day, literally that morning I had put he, they in my Twitter bio so that I could have a non-binary shield on X. I was like, yes, I did do that. Oh, you know what?
He had you down in.
He did. He knew.
Got him.
there's a sort of horizontal managerial class. The same kinds of people, if not some of the same people, who are the associate deans of God knows what at a proliferating cancer of managerialism at universities, that professionally sit on corporate boards, that become the ambassador of God knows what to some third world, or sort of second bit nation.
He needs to get to the third layer of the deep state, though. So first layer of deep state is what I just referenced. Second layer, people that are sitting on boards and running corporations. Third layer is that bitch who goes into the zoning meetings and yells about headlights or stop signs or says we need new fences or doesn't like something else happening in the neighborhood.
Asian food trucks.
That layer, that's the real deep. That's the deepest state. God, I hate them.
Did
Go
somebody do
home.
this to you recently?
I deal
Show
with
us
a lot
on the
of,
internet where the lady hurt you.
There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that complain a lot about all of the buildings that are going in. Like there's a new apartment complex going into a very literally they bulldozed Section 8 housing and now they're putting in one of those apartment complexes that has the retail on the first floor. And I'm like, oh cool, that'll look way better because it was when you say Section 8 and you think about a grungy ghetto, that's what they sort of got rid of. So even if they continue the Section 8, we have a really interesting voucher system here.
The bulldozing Section 8 housing.
Yeah, well, they'll probably make it so they still accept vouchers because we have a very specific way that Section 8 works in our state. So it's probably not going to change the actual clientele that are in the apartment complex, but it'll look nicer. It'll be nicer. And I've had so many people in this neighborhood that complain about it. It's like, shut the fuck up. This is going to look great. It's going to bring in new retail. And if it looks good enough, people will show up that will support local businesses. You shut up. Just people hate it.
You hate people? Shocking.
Yeah, well, I hate that person. I hate the person that goes and tries to ruin somebody else's business because they don't like the way something looks in the neighborhood.
Is it your food truck?
Not yet, no.
Is it gonna be your food truck?
The external lights should be here today. I do hope to get a physical location at that building. I think it's got good freeway access, all of the stuff that you want. So having a sake bar there, I think will be very unique and interesting. You think of poor black people don't lie. I actually don't. We have a very multi-ethnic ghetto in Washington State. It is just a lot of very poor people. No, they don't
White
fight.
trash is a thing, guys.
But so I've been to places in America where there's the white trash ghetto, there's the Mexican ghetto, there's the black ghetto. You have these very specific racially segregated ghettos. You walk through a trailer park in Washington and you're going to have Mexicans next to Chinese, next to old white grannies who've retired, next to black people. There is no cohesion, but they're all that same sort of genre of white trash ghetto people. It just is. It's a very strange thing. The only race that gets segregated in Washington State is Native American because they all get free housing on the Mukilteo lands and everything. So
that's actually not. That doesn't sound. I mean, a lot to me, in my experience, a lot of trailer parks are like that. A lot of trailer parks are multicultural, multi-ethnic, multiracial, because it's kind of like, I don't know. Is that a step up from Section 8 or is that a step down from Section 8?
Step up.
It depends.
Depends on if you live in Tornado Alley or not.
In Washington State, our Section 8 functions by how you apply to the government and say, I will allow my rentable property to be used for Section 8. And then you have to follow, you just have to stay within zoning more or less, but there's certain rules you have to follow. And if you do, then you can get a Section 8 renter. And when you get a Section 8 renter, they will pay, I think, 20% of the rent bill. And then the government will pay you directly the other 80% of the rent bill up to a certain dollar amount. And so the way that our Section 8 works is you could live next to somebody who's running a Section 8 voucher. I don't even think they call it Section 8 here, but running what is essentially a Section 8 voucher, and you would never know because it's literally just the government now pays the rent rather than me having to worry about a renter paying the rent. So it's not bad in this area. That's why our trailer parks are definitely worse than our Section 8.
I hate Section 8.
You hate what Section 8 creates, or you just hate Section 8 as a concept?
I think because of what it creates is just. I remember, so when me and my wife were first got married, or right when we were engaged, we were living in sin. We were living in sin, in a decent
With a safety pin.
Yeah. In an apartment complex, it was pretty. It was okay. It was decent, and it was next to this little golf course community. But across the street, you had brand new apartment complex, brand new amenities, and all this nice stuff. And I was like, I wonder how much that is. And I'm like, oh, daggone, that's cheap.
Oh yes,
And that's when I found out I
I'm
make
familiar
too
with
much
this.
money to live in a place.
Yep.
And that's infuriated me.
My we do have locations like that. I know what you're talking about.
No.
I think my my buddy was talking about it where he was trying to get into one. Pretty sure it was Washington State. But working like part-time at a fast food restaurant, he made too much money to qualify. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like the threshold
is so low. I already showed Stu the Monopoly video, but he's got to watch it again now because he said that.
You've already showed him the Monopoly video?
We already showed him this, but he has to watch it again.
What Monopoly video?
You know, the Monopoly video,
This one.
I guess.
I put it in the chat.
All right, this is it. After this, I have to go to bed.
The Sleep Number 360 smart bed lets you gently raise your
Oh,
partner's
I
head.
hope you learned about Vivek.
Oh my gosh. Where's all your money gone, Daddy? Taxes. 9, 10, 11. Let me fix my houses. It's okay. It's part of the game. No, it's not.
Because it is. He's right. It is part of life.
It's the worst part of the game. Oh, it's what? Taxes.
It's so true.
Yeah, that's what Stu is like when he learned they couldn't live in a place. It's the worst part of the game.
You can't buy this property. You make too much money. Ah!
No, you're not allowed to buy the brown.
Alex Moore
coffee.
had an employee ask for super part-time to keep Section 8.
Like, yeah, let me work half a day.
You know what that means? I mean, that's the thing, right?
What is super part-time? 4 hours a day, yeah.
Maybe like 2.
2 days
hours
a week, 4 hours each day. Like, that would be my guess.
You know, when my wife was working for the county in community services, she worked next to the social services building. The clients at social services, the amount of new and nice luxury cars that were in that parking lot daily is
just a lot.
Oh my goodness! You can afford you can afford the really nice cell phone. You can afford a decent car, but you need help to make ends meet to live.
And why is life worth living if you can't get the newest $2,200 iPhone?
Yeah, exactly. 2,200.
I need that Type R spoiler on the back of my.
Also, I need a
BRC.
new one of those every year, or else I'm going to kill myself.
And the best part is that vehicle was at the karting track.
Let me see if I have anything nice. Oh yeah, I got a good one right before Stu leaves. I got a good video.
One more.
I'll bring this one up for my playlist. I got a
You're
playlist
damn right,
for this
Alex.
stream. That's what the stream does to me. It makes me make a playlist. Skip. Let's go with this one.
All right, this is the actual last video I'm gonna watch. Then I'm gonna go to bed.
There you go.
All right,
This is a good one.
It better
Welcome
not be
back,
more than
everybody,
2
to the
minutes.
CNBA. That's
A
C
minute
for
26.
crazy. Start of the third quarter, Denver Ballers up by 12 to the LA Smog. Let's see what's happening on the court. We're going to kill all of you. Come on. Denver's sounding confident as they head into that second half, but let's see if they can keep that
Animation.
energy as LA starts to pick up some traction. And never mind, they're just holding the ball above their heads. The Denver is making a complete fool out of the LA Smog right now as they can't do anything. Come on, guys, get it together. Michael going for the slam dunk, and he makes it! Pick up the ball. Mini LeBron, wake up! Wake up! Oh!
Did he say Mini LeBron?
Yeah, I think he did.
LA
Yeah.
calling for the timeout. Looks like we're about to see a roster change, swapping out Mini LeBron James for Titanic Death Robot.
I'm just happy to be here, man.
Coming back from timeout, Denver Ballers in possession.
Size of the whole
opening here is the new
key.
guy. Grabs Michael, ripping him to two halves with
It's a red dot,
school biology
40K.
class. Ballers calling for a foul. I don't know. Death Robot grabbing Silly Johnson, running into the court floors with his jetpack, and once again we see the defense calling for a review on the tape. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Great move by Denver, calling for a timeout as they pull out the altitude button. Mile High City, more like 10 Mile High City, am I right?
Where's this going?
It's going up.
40K apparently.
Right there.
That was
That's
it.
it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, before I go to bed,
Yeah, this is
what
what
was the
like.
point?
It's not connected to anything. It's just funny.
Exactly.
That's exactly what the point is. It's
You
not
brought us
connected to
with
anything.
the things that you enjoy. I don't understand why you hate everything.
Why would I not enjoy that? It's really
It's
stupid.
so stupid, man.
It's also only a minute long, so that's what makes it better. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Things
Your
you
taste in
enjoy,
clips
why do you...
is retarded.
Yeah, why would you not enjoy that? What do you?
'Cause
find
it's
sustenance
retarded.
in? That's what's fun about it. Yeah. Does it think it's like some
you feel
serious?
like
piece
you've
of
Not even
art?
I'm
brain cell?
autistic enough to find the humor in that.
Do you think that everything needs to be this fine piece of art? You know, you just watch an isekai and it's like, this needs to be as beautiful as a Van Gogh painting, and it needs to be as eloquent as a Beethoven symphony.
You're comparing that when what this would equate to is a trailer park.
Yeah.
Or Section 8 housing of
You
comedy.
hate trailer parks. That's why you don't like this.
That was ridiculous. All right, Stu, do you know when your next stream's gonna be?
Maybe Thursday, because I think kids got VBS, and I think I'm going to be with them tomorrow, because there's going to be a food truck there. But it's not going to be your food truck because
It's a long way to go.
yeah, well, not with that attitude.
I mean, you would be very far from me, distance-wise.
Piss poor attitude is what I'm saying. And can do is what makes people succeed. Anyway,
I'll airdrop you some food.
yeah. Grubhub it. All right, guys. Thanks for having me on your stream. Thanks, Serrano, for sending me off with a shit video to watch.
Hell yeah.
On my way out. Appreciate that. That's all.
Do you know how many views that one has?
Too many.
Too many.
It has 86,000 views. It doesn't have any views.
If
That's
the
like
only
nothing for his
view was
channel,
just
actually.
now, it would be too many.
Too many of it.
We'll watch Goofy's trial next week.
Oh,
I just like shitting. I like that I can legitimately shit on something you enjoy.
It doesn't bother me. You like shitty stuff too. And you read the Bible every day. Like, come on.
Bleach is the best anime. I'm out.
Later. You know, I kind of like that guy. I like some of the stuff he was saying at the end there.
But I respect his right to say it, you know?
Could you pull up the video from the tweet I posted in Discord under the politics tab?
What?
Because we're bringing it right back to what I was talking about earlier.
What the heck were you
Fuck
talking about?
everything in that video. I hate it. I hate everything about that video.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I can't pop this out. Boo. X sucks. Let me pop out.
Oh my god, guys, they're living in the future. Aren't they just living in the future?
Changsha City.
Do you know to enter any of those buildings you have to present an ID?
I mean, if they're even actual buildings. I mean, some of them
Oh,
should
yeah.
literally just be giant TV screens.
Yeah, it feels like the dome thing from Las Vegas. But they
I love
want
the
that to be
dome. The dome is hilarious, though.
It is. They use it for jokes. It's fun.
Get that smoothie jazz on. Yeah, thank you, Jeff Kaus on TikTok for shooting some drone shots. Boom, boom, chicka-cha-cha. Wow. Whatever. Who cares about that? Oh, my lights are red.
No.
Okay, we've got 15 minutes left in this video.
Well, we didn't learn anything about Vivek Ramsey.
Okay, but you know
we
what?
we learned that he's good at answering questions in a way that brings it back around to him talking about something he believes in that we need to work on. Like he took that election fraud question and turned it into, I think that the like censorship needs to stop. Like big tech censorship, the way the government can work with big tech, like that extends the First Amendment to them. We need to sort of end that. Like he's pretty good at connecting those kinds of things. I think his big issue is just going to be the fact that Trump is so far and away the leader that I don't think he would even be a vice presidential nominee, because I don't think he ticks enough boxes to be useful to a campaign. If that.
So who do you look for to take the boxes, like Tim Scott because he's black?
You got it. You already knew. We've been over this. You picked a woman. I picked a black guy.
Dude, Tim Scott's the worst.
Well, I don't think that Nikki Haley's actually going to get it.
Oh, so now our bet's off? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think the one I think would be getting it, or like the woman that would be getting it. What was her name from Arizona? I forgot her name already.
Not Nikki Haley. We just said that.
Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake. Because yeah, she's a big Trump supporter person, so I think, because she failed her
Alex
run.
Moore likes Tim Scott.
Why do you like Tim Scott, Alex? Is it because he's black?
We know why. We know why. Come on.
Is it because he's black,
Come on.
Alex?
Don't make me say it.
Michael, you're the reason that we have.
I just went over this like the other
that
day. The fact that
person.
like Tim Scott is only a Republican because that's the easiest way for him to get elected.
We
is 'cause
already
there's
got
a
accused
lot
of
of black
racism
people
in
that
this
run
episode.
in the Democratic Party.
Why?
It's like,
Wait, what
it's
happened?
too hard. I'm gonna go for
don't
the
know,
field where
honestly.
people need
Did
somebody
some
to run.
rando show up and say that?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Republicans
awesome.
like voting for black people.
Okay, guys, but hear me out. Hear me out. Bringing it back to reaction videos. Here's another thing Lofty didn't get. He didn't quite understand that memes often get rewatched.
Perfect, Alex.
Like, people will just look up and rewatch memes because they're funny, right?
Okay.
When we're talking about an 8-minute video, people aren't going to rewatch an 8-minute video that they watched on someone else's stream, right?
Yeah.
They might look it up and click on it for a second, but they aren't going to sit there and watch the whole fucking video because it's 8 minutes of their life and they've already seen it. Now, a minute-long meme or a 2-minute-long meme like the ones Lofty posts, yeah, they're going to sit there and rewatch it because it's 2 minutes and they had a good time last time.
Yes.
It's the same thing with a song. That if you play a song on your stream, people are going to be like, oh shit, what song is that? That's a good song. Like, obviously, music companies are kind of assholes, but...
Is Farina gonna die if I don't come help with someone besides
what's
Lynn?
the pirate holding? Because you can just rescue and she'd be fine. Yeah,
I can rescue her?
She's
yeah.
not gonna get hit
None
by
of
that,
them
probably.
have javelins or hand axes.
Oh, perfect. I'll just do that then.
Yeah, you're fine.
Way simpler. Okay. Yeah, and also, you missed Alex Moore telling me to eat shit.
Ah, you deserved it though. You know you did.
I did not do it. But no, what did one say? We had someone pop in.
Alex
and
only
literally
said it for trolling. He's only trolling that he likes people that are bad candidates. Just like he likes bad anime.
Oh,
boom, roasted.
I missed Tajaswi N said this happened today, literally today. After Trump indictment, Vivek is defending him, and now, like a true VP in his YouTube videos and Twitter posts, he is saying he will sue the DOJ now. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
where did
you
one
gotta do what
go?
you gotta do.
One was the funniest. There it is. There is no language called Indian, you redhead dumbwits.
Yeah, no, I was aware of that. I said Hindu afterwards, but I corrected myself pretty quickly.
I
don't
don't
know about
care.
Blaine.
Everybody knows what we're talking about. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, everyone knows it. We're talking about Hindu. The fuck you mean?
Hindi.
Hindu.
But I thought they also said something else. Was that the only thing they said? Hold on.
That's pretty funny because I caught myself immediately. So I don't even know why they're upset.
Oh, before that even, I think they said you are racist little pricks. I'm like,
That's
okay.
funny.
Sure, I guess. If
And
you
you're
say
not?
so.
What games are you doing if you're not a racist little prick?
He's talking about MSM, not talking about, ooh, who's Daniel M? I got a lot of new people popping in here that I wasn't noticing.
Yeah. Well, you didn't. Oh, wait, never mind.
I'm just so used to keeping an eye out for.
Is it because of that short that went pretty big, like 86 or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I need to finish the cubes. I need to do all the background shorts, and then I'm thinking due to length, we're gonna end up doing the Evangelion Manifesto in parts. So I'll like live stream it, and then I'll private the live stream, and then I'll edit the video that I record locally to have like chunks of Evangelion mixed in to then release like a edited video, but I will broadcast the script reading live.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A discussion on the Decepticon debate attracted new viewers. Yay! Way to go, Political Corner. It's working. Because I suck them in with the politics, and then we
talk about more politics
with Waifu Wednesdays.
we
bring them in on.
We're not talking about more politics.
We bring them in on Tuesday. Well, our politics turn into is X character trans in Persona 5? Like,
the answer may not shock you.
It's not shocking, that's for sure. All right. These lights are red. Waifu has not been feeling well all day yesterday and today, so that's why I had to do a bunch of extra stuff yesterday, but I was able to still stream today. So that light means that I need to go tend to her needs, and I will wake up tomorrow. We'll do it again for Waifu Wednesday. Do you gents have anything happening tomorrow? How did we pull off a watch together? I say we, but like Serranos runs the Discord, so like Serranos, how did the watch along go this weekend?
For the little whole live stuff.
Yeah, for the whole live stuff. It was
I was
fun.
there with Michael.
Just me.
Gemini didn't go in because he's a coward.
Yeah.
He's a coward. Gemini is a coward.
It was bring your own stream to watch, so you know.
BYOS.
Exactly.
All right.
I would have streamed if somebody needed me to stream, but
we
Michael doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, you just whip out your.
Also, you can
YouTube
just
app.
watch the stream because it's on YouTube.
It doesn't even conflict with your phone because it's like
you
a
can
phone
have
call.
it minied.
Yeah, you can do both.
Exactly.
If you're on your phone, so if you don't jump in, you're a
results
coward.
from that were like
Bejewel.
Bejewel's great. We like Bejewel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one.
Yeah, Kaseki.
The other one.
We like Kaseki Bijou, Kaseki Bijou, and then we also like Narissa Ravencroft. We like her.
No, I was talking about Narissa. I like Narissa and Bijou.
That's what I said. What are you talking about?
What you said? You said Kaseki.
Yeah, Koseki Bijou. That's her name.
I only know her as Bijou.
Jesus. Michael,
anyway.
Impossible.
Anyway, I will see everyone tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific for Waifu Wednesday. We'll be rating waifus and doing some anime reviews. I completely missed that part with the initial Michael derailing, but I did watch Level 1 Demon Lord and Roroni and a bunch of other things. I'm not going to just list them off here. We'll do the reviews tomorrow so we can catch up on that. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will catch you then. Kampai.
Off to you, Pixel.